All right, I should be live. Welcome, everyone, to my reaction for One Piece Chapter 1185. I know it's only been 2 weeks since the last one, but for some reason it feels like 2 months. Probably because we're in the middle of the GOATS flashback here with Brook, and I've been dying to see the next stage of this. So I'm super duper excited for this chapter. I have not been spoiled. I've been told that it's like a 10 out of 10. It's great, you know. I should be looking forward to it, but I am unspoiled, so I'm super pumped. And also, I gotta say, it's very nice to see you guys because, like I said, it feels to me like 2 months for some reason. I've just been so busy the last couple weeks. That's part of why I didn't get a video done or anything, and I was sick for a while. But man, it is so nice to see you guys and be back in the saddle to do a stream. Seriously, it's been awesome. I went to a lot of pre-release events for the last One Piece set, which it dropped today. So hopefully you guys found some cards if you were looking, but. I did a lot of events, and pretty much every person was not almost, maybe most of the people I played. You know, I was talking about One Piece, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I love the flashback going on. I can't wait." You know, like because most people who play are caught up, right? And so it was awesome getting to talk to them because, like, obviously we were in the middle of a break while we were doing those events, but. Yeah, it got me pumped for this chapter, is basically what I'm getting at. And I've been waiting, and I've been waiting and waiting, but here it is. So, and sorry it took a little bit to even do the stream. It dropped like last night, right? But finally got some time, and here we are. So, thank you, everyone, as always. And I see tons of goats in the chat, as always. Appreciate y'all. I see there's a couple donations and stuff real quick. Let me go ahead and get to those before we get into the actual chapter. I am going to try to go a little bit quick today just because I am so busy. I got like a million things to do this weekend, but obviously we need at least like an hour and a half, a couple hours for the, you know, the GOATS flashback. But first, let me go ahead and get to some of these donations real quick. Good Vibes TCG, my guy, member for 43 months. We are coming up on the 4-year anniversary of the channel. We almost have 4-year membership anniversary, so Good Vibes, I appreciate you. We might have to have some special stream or something for the 4-year, but thank you either way. Good Vibes. And I already know there was a bunch of gifted memberships, and I'll get to those, but GG the GOAT with the 10 gifted memberships. W's in the chat for GG. That's amazing. Seriously, GG, you're the best. Thank you so much for all your support, for real. Whether it's the donations or even just the messages that, you know, we have on Discord and stuff, I appreciate you for all your support, for real. Thank you. W's in the chat. Yeah, okay, there we go. I see some W's now. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Dilcor joined the Afro Gang, editor for the channel. Dilcor, my guy. Dude, Dill, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Quanidin with the $2 super chat. 10 out of 10 peak. And you know, you and I are almost always aligned. So if you're saying 10 out of 10, and you usually don't say 10 out of 10, I feel like even for good ones, you hold back. So if you're saying 10 out of 10, I mean, we are approaching the climax of Brook's flashback, I would presume. If Oda wants to leave us here for another 3 months, you know, if he wants to do the Loki flashback round 2, but with Brook, you will not hear a complaint out of me. But I feel like it's not going to be that long. So there's probably going to be some good stuff. So thank you. Thank you very much. Terrible TJ, 39 months with the member message. Like the stream, y'all. TJ, you're exactly right. Please like the stream. But thank you either way for the 39-month member message. That's crazy. I seriously can't believe that we're approaching 4 years. I think that is just does not feel real, right? Like you could have, if any of you started watching me like at the beginning of college, you're graduating now and we're still here. Like I just think that is crazy to me. But either way, thank you, TJ. Knack Talk with the 5 gifted memberships. Knack, my guy, I appreciate you. We gotta have another TCG talk soon. Well, about playing and buying cards. We gotta have a talk. I meant to message you last night, but either way, Knack, my guy, I appreciate you. Bean Boy with the 5 gifted memberships. Bean Boy the GOAT, appreciate you. Were there W's? Yeah, there were W's in the chat for both. Awesome. It was obviously I'm a little bit late, so I had to make sure, you know, you guys showed some love for Bean Boy. I appreciate you. And Knack Talk. Yeah, and shout out to all the new members. Seriously, that is amazing. Where's the next one? GG with a 19-month member message. Hey guys, GG's Boxcar here. I appreciate you, Gigi. Seriously, thank you, because you did that, and then you gifted the 10 memberships later. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for real. Thank you. It says audio's a little quiet. Oh, here, I can move it up. Hold on. Does this sound better? There we go. It was a little low, or like it was in the yellow. Now it's up in the red. It should sound better. I just saw that from who was it? Was it Dilcor? Yeah, thank you. It was just a little bit low because if you guys saw the stream on Saturday, I was and sorry if my voice is like super loud now because you adjusted the volume. I apologize. But on Saturday we had the box opening for the new One Piece set, but I did it at the card store. So if you didn't see that, that was pretty cool. And also a little bit of lore. The guy who got me into One Piece originally, he watched it through with me on my first watch through. He was my roommate at the time. He actually showed up on stream and talked for a little bit. So if you care at all to hear from the guy that got me to even start One Piece, he did appear on stream at the card store over the weekend, which is pretty dang cool. Shout out Cam. I doubt he's listening, but shout out Cam. Knack with the $2 Canadian. Dak 1v1 me on Rust. If we can 1v1 on Shipment, then I'm down. It's got to be Shipment, not Rust. Shipment is superior if you ask me. Let's see. Is that all of them? Oh no. Reese Lucas with the $5 member message. Nice that Oda has been fleshing out Brook this arc. That's a good one. That's true too. So unexpected too, right? But I like the joke nonetheless. And then you also said he's been bare bones for too long. Yo ho ho. And I'm glad to see that you got a bunch of likes on that super chat message. I love that they added that so I can get a feel for, the response from everybody else. But yeah, man, he has been bare bones. And actually, what was the I saw the chapter title. Y'all better buzz off. Never mind. I thought it was a weird one. I thought whenever you said that, for some reason my mind thought, oh, was it a joke? No, or like a Brook joke? No, it's just a random. I don't know what that's gonna mean in the chapter. Y'all better buzz off. But thank you, Reese Lucas. What was the? Actually, give me 1 second to look at something real quick. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I got a couple more messages, and then we are gonna get started. Yeah. So last chapter was only Bones Get Left Behind. Okay, that's why I'm conflating the two. Makes sense. Gross Stonks, member for 30 months, another goat of the channel. Goated flashback, goated arc, lore, Elbaf continues. Y'all are getting me hyped for this chapter. I mean, I was already hyped. Even if you guys came in saying this chapter sucks, I probably would have been pumped. But man, the Brook flashback, so unexpected, Bean Boy, member for 38 months, over 3 years. That's just crazy, man. Thank you for all the support, for real. Here's to many more reacts, lads and lasses. Yes, sir. If I think I told you guys that I've had like all these copyright strikes recently, and I've been I was talking about this a lot over the week when I was doing all these events and talking to the card store owners and stuff too, because they were interested in how that all works and stuff. And kind of the point I got to was like, I mean, if I keep getting struck, then it's not going to come to this. I don't want to worry anybody, but like if I keep getting struck, because I didn't get struck on the last video, but like my prior 4 I did. If I keep getting struck, then worst case scenario, I'll just do videos on a different channel and keep doing reacts here, because reacts will never end. It's that's the one thing that's never going to go away. We got to react to the chapter every single week, so don't worry about that. Definitely many more reacts to come. Well, hopefully, because hopefully Oda does not end the story, soon. Feel like we got at least a couple hundred more chapters, I would imagine. So many more for sure. Bean Boy, appreciate you. Thank you. John Stoops, member for 25 months, past the 2-year mark. John, thank you very much. Working today, but stoked for the VOD. Happy reading, Dak. John, that man, it means a lot that you guys show up and just even do the donation to show some love, and then you even if you're busy, then you come back. That's so awesome, man. John, thank you. Seriously, I appreciate you very much. I'm hopefully it's a good react for you. I'm hoping, because if it's a Brook chapter, I mean, come on. And then Cloud Lizard with the 5 gifted memberships. I already see the W's in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Cloud Lizard, my guy, thank you very much. I hope you had some good openings for the new One Piece set if you had a chance. Hopefully you can get your hands on some of the Ace and Luffy decks, and you can get the Ace and Luffy alt leader out of the packs. That's the big one. That's the big one you want, I think. And actually I went out this morning, and I went to a few stores. I could barely find any, so best of luck. But that's the number one thing I'm excited to open is those new Ace and Luffy decks. I think those cards are sick. But all right, guys, I am now caught up. So thank you all for all the donations as always. But it is time to get into One Piece chapter 1185. You said just got off work now. Yeah, see, Cloud Lizard, I was waiting for you. That's actually why there was a delay at the start of the stream. It wasn't because my camera was unplugged. It wasn't because I just got done walking the dogs and had to clean up and all that. It was because Cloud Lizard had to get off work. So now that Cloud Lizard's off work, it's time for One Piece chapter 1185. Y'all better buzz off. No better way to start the chapter than a giant gulp of water. Cover request with Hancock here. Hancock hones her cooking skills for Luffy. Oh, okay. So she's learning to cook for him because obviously Luffy loves eating, and you can see her like burning a bunch of meat trying to figure it out. I assume that's the situation. That's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of cute. I gotta say that's a cool cover page. I like that one a lot. That's one that I could see being a canon thing. I mean, right now, well, I guess she's probably chilling on Amazon Lily, right? So yeah, she could be doing this right now. I mean, there's probably a lot of other stuff to worry about in the world, you know? Like everywhere's flooding, and Amazon Lily just got attacked. Well, I mean, it was like years ago for us, but recent for her. So, but regardless, I like this one a lot. I really do. I don't have a lot of notes, but I do like it. All right, here we go. Brook's childhood, man. So we're still here in his okay. I thought we were going to jump forward to where he's like an adult again because we saw, you know, him getting the opportunity to go to music school and all that stuff. But now we're actually getting even more context here. So this is very cool. Young Brook, man, look at him. With the sword too? And the sword's actually like properly scaled? Oda has upped his game, man, because you know Oda does not rescale, or he always rescales the swords. Like he never keeps it the same scale, you know. Hey, that's cool. Ah, man, young Brook, man. I'm like, Candel, make Brook your page. Teach him good manners and how to speak properly. You got it, Lord Leuven. Wow, the palace. So Brook is getting his kind of first taste at this sort of stuff. Wow, the palace is packed with cute babes. There's one hottie, two hotties, her, not her, three hotties. Cut it out. Okay, Brook, bro. From day one, my boy was like this. One hottie, two hottie, not her, three hottie. Man, that's savage, Brook. Brook, you gotta chill, my dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I see you guys saying lag in the chat. Let me refresh real quick. Okay, for me it's playing, so I'm not exactly sure. But I think I saw somebody say refresh. For me, it's playing. I just played it, and I am caught up. So I'm going to assume it's going to go at least for the VOD. So, cut it out. Don't worry. You're still number one, Candel. That's Lady Candel. You're my page now. Yo, let me see your panties. Brook. Oh, my God. Brook is all over the place. Bert, you said it was just momentary. You're fine. Thank you very much for letting me know. Thank you. Appreciate you. Brook, man, he you know, I thought at least there was a lot of theories or maybe analysis points that Brook, you know, when he was stuck in the Florian Triangle, maybe he lost some social skills, and that's why he asks about panties and stuff. Like maybe he's just so disconnected from society or whatever. That is not the case. All right. Well, I guess it is a little bit of being disconnected because he was an outcast. Brooke is just like this, you know, and I am a huge fan. I mean, that's my guy. I'm always gonna stand him, even if the panty thing is a little weird. It's kind of funny that he was like this from the get-go. You know what I mean? By the way, major shout out to Mr. Bushido for the 5 gifted memberships. I just saw that, Bushido. Much love, and I think you had a member message as well. I will look at that at the end, but thank you very much, Bushido. And I see the W's. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Hey, do you have an issue with wearing your school uniform? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, before I move any further. This is the picture of Brooke as a kid, right? That Oda drew. He's wearing the 9 shirt. Oh my God. The shirt with the 9 on it. Wait, you see that? Isn't that because he's the 9th Straw Hat? But now he's got the 9 as a kid. And he has the big glasses too. He had that in a picture that Oda drew as him as a kid. He's got the same pants. Oh my God, man. What? No, that's peak. That is so cool. And so it says 9, because earlier he had a similar outfit, but there was kanji on it. I didn't know if they like swapped it, but no, I think he just changed clothes whenever he went to school or something. But dude, fire. That is awesome. It's cool that Oda gave us that design for Brooke as a kid, and now he's using it in Brooke's actual flashback. Like, it's something he actually wore. Beautiful. That is top tier. Top tier. If I let that school cramp my style, I won't be able to jam and make good tunes anymore. You tell him, Brooke. Don't worry, though. I'm looking forward to rocking a Guard Corps uniform one day. I love this flashback, man. I don't know. Just that little line, like, it'll cramp my style. Like, and again, he's just a kid. Like, we're seeing that from day one. This is how he was, man. Oh, this is too good. Gotta admit, I'm jealous. I can't believe this kid gets to be Lady Candel's page. Yo ho ho. Who's this guy over here? Just some random Guard Corps guy, I presume. Candel, do you have a type of guy you go for? This is so, jokes aside, Oda is very clearly, like, really building up this Brooke and Candel love thing, right? Like, not that, like, I don't think they ever actually get together or anything, but it's like, remember, like, whenever we first met him, he's like, oh, the love of my life, Candel. And now from the beginning, he's trying to, like, woo her even as a kid, right? I just think that's so interesting. Candel, do you have a type of guy you go for? Lady Candel. There is one man, but he's out of my league. Still, wonder, is she talking about Leuven? There's no way, right? But I mean, they do get married. I don't know. Still, the reason I train so hard with the sword is to be by his side. So it is the king. I bet you'd get him if you dressed more like a chick instead of a dude. Brooke, that's not necessary. Being near him is more than enough for me. Huh? Near him? Does that mean it's me? Of course not. Did this face Brooke is making where he says it's me? Like, look how happy he is, man. That is one of the happiest faces that Oda has ever drawn in the story. I will say just one thing that did cross my mind while I'm reading this. She keeps bringing up, I want to be by his side. I want to be by his side. And going to the theories that Candel could be like a God's Knight or Celestial Dragon, you know, undercover person or whatever. Part of what I'm thinking is, like, being near his side, is it because you need to be near the king's side for the mission that you're doing that's secret and bad and stuff? Like, not because you love him? Is that... I don't know, maybe. I kind of hope she's not evil, but it's definitely possible. Lady Candel, don't tell me you even wear men's underwear. I don't. Really? Then you gotta let me see your panties. Brooke, your language is not improving. You have to be polite and use honorifics when you ask someone a favor. Would you be so kind as to show me your panties? Of course not. So... So is that where that comes from? Because even now, right? Like, he's kind of nice whenever he asks about the panties. Like, may I please see your panties? So is that is that where that comes from? Oda, you're cooking with this flashback, man. I mean, I've been saying it this whole time, but bro, you're cooking. And Brook does just get cooked. Like, he's face planted in the ground. Even outside of politeness, you need to consider basic decency too. I'm going to drill good etiquette into you. Good grief. Strength and etiquette go hand in hand. What? Then I'll do my best. I mean, I shall endeavor to give it my all. And so that's part of why Brook's speech is the way it is, I'm guessing. This is like a fever dream for me, I gotta say. This is gold. I know we're in the middle of Elbaf being attacked. We just had the Emu reveal. Emu's fighting Loki. We had one of the four gods or some iteration of them pop up. I know there's so much awesome stuff going on, but this is awesome. There's not a soul around who doesn't admire Lady Candel. And is that Gunko over there? And now, whenever I scrolled to this page, I thought Brook had a big mustache, but it's just like a big version of his head and then a smaller one below it. But I thought he had like a mustache. She shines like the sun over the whole nation. Now that I think about it, there was this one time... Oh, no. Now that I think about it, there was this one time a world government ship drifted up here in Asperia. The kingdom was thrown into a panic, as no one had ever dealt directly with people of such stature. The Celestial Dragons? Yup, the pressure was overwhelming. So now we've jumped up to where Brook is. How old was, like 27, I think, is how old he is here. Something like that. I think, yeah. I don't know. Something like that. Lady Candel was actually bedridden for a few months after that. Probably due to the stress. You wouldn't believe how dark the kingdom felt back then, yo-ho-ho. I shouldn't laugh, but it really was like the sunset on our kingdom. So, before I keep reading, I'm just thinking, why would she be so bedridden after that? It reminds me of Estrid because, well, not, like, remember, because she got, like, sick after Loki was born. She was bedridden for a while, and then she died. And I don't know if that is a parallel I should be thinking of, but I can't help but think of that. Or maybe the Celestial Dragon showed up and they had a secret meeting because she is a Celestial Dragon, and they're like, hey, you got to figure this out or else. And so she got really stressed. I don't know. But it does feel like the Estrid thing a little bit. Although Estrid, she doesn't have like a confirmed connection with the Celestials yet. But I feel like she probably does. But not, not confirmed or anything. But still. But that was just the beginning. You wouldn't believe the influx of news that followed, Princess. Oh no, this is not looking good, is it? This ain't looking good. Your father, the renowned rugged prince, ascended the throne, and at the same time, he married your mother, Lady Candel. The celebrations across Asperia were as thrilling as a live concert. And then we were blessed by your birth, Princess Shuri. I love this panel of her like looking straight at us, kind of. That's sick. The nation positively bubbled over with joy. People were always saying, I want to see your face, or she's so cute, or she takes after her mother. Oops, I'm getting off topic, but you get the picture. That's why I love your folks. They're my ultimate benefactors. In fact, I'd gladly relinquish my life for those two. Check out my latest hit, Relinquish Rock. Brook, man, he's just awesome. This panel here with Brook and like the celebrations in the back, like he's having like a little flashback of the celebrations. I just love that panel structure and like the art on it. Man, Oda's cooking. Mommy and daddy. So, Brooke, what would you do if I were in danger? That's obvious. I'd lay down my life in a heartbeat for you too. Is that just because I'm their daughter? No, it's because you're you. You're supposed to say that wholeheartedly without hesitation. And then she's mad, and then he pulls out a lollipop, and she's excited. I wonder if Brooke is going to offer her a lollipop later in the arc. You know? Imagine that. I swear to God, if there's a moment where I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's really sad about something. Like, maybe she like comes to, like, she gets all of her memories, and she's thinking through, like, oh, man, I did all these bad things, and I couldn't fight back, and I feel so horrible. And, like, I did this, and Brooks hated me and all this. And then he just pulls out a lollipop, and he's like, it's all right. Like, I know it wasn't you. I would bawl my eyes out. So, Oda, take some notes. I mean, you probably have already thought of this. That might be why you're setting this up. But I would love that. So, we see Brooke here is just... It looks like, you know, they're training, but it looks like Brooke is obviously, like, way too good. You know, he's, like, way better than Shuri at this point. Which makes sense. Then we see Shuri riding on Brooke's shoulders. Hey, Daddy, use father instead. You're not a little girl anymore. Love you too, father. Princess Shuri, if you're craving freedom from your parents, you know you can always vent it out with a song like this. Wait, what is he... What, did she get hurt or something and he's bringing the first aid? Okay, I get it now. It's like a bunch of different stuff. It's like their adventures together, so to speak. This is about to be... Oda's really setting the stage for the Brooke and Shuri thing. That's good. Like, once we're done with this and they reunite and, like, they get to just talk about what happened, man, it's gonna be crazy. Princess Shuri, if you're craving freedom from your parents, you know you can always vent it out with a song like this. Y'all better buzz off. Why do those lyrics sound so weird? It's a dialect from a kingdom in the west called Kamigata. So Brooke here, just real quick, looks like so he's bringing a first aid kit. Then he's got like the umbrella to protect her from the rain, but he's getting rained on because he's helping her and the little dog. Measuring her height because she's growing up and stuff. Then he's talking to this other girl and she gets mad. And then, oh my God, a little ghost thing. And Brooke freaks out. Then they're just playing music and fishing, almost like Brooke did with King Leuven. And I feel like that's the same place. You can see like some rubble in the back and stuff. Now Brooke is in the hospital and she is getting angry at the nurse. And then she's learning to cook with Lady Kindell. And then Brooke is eating the food and he likes it, but she's man. This little montage of their adventures. Like I said, when we get to the end of this Brooke and Shuri thing, it's gonna be waterworks, man. For me, at least. It's a dialect from a kingdom in the west called Kamigata. Y'all better buzz off. We ain't pups, bought off with treats. We ain't kids, turned around by sweets. And here they are laughing and singing. In Shuri's 15th year. Huh? It's out of tune? In Shuri's 15th year, music died in the kingdom of Asperia. A thick mist shrouded the country and lingered for half a year. The land's treasured instruments decayed as the mist turned to smog. The island was swallowed whole. Music no longer echoed through the streets. Joyful melodies gave way to the sound of coughing. Let's bring on the music, cough. Yeah, okay, so even Brooke was suffering. The toxic smog ravaged the lungs of tens of thousands and claimed the lives of hundreds. The fog will clear. It must. Wait, she died from this? Beset by one unimaginable tragedy after another, the kingdom knew nothing but suffering. Even after the fog had lifted, the scars it caused remained. And you see everyone crying, bro. Dude, this is hitting me, man. This is, I gotta say, man, Brooke, like, we all know that Brooke's already been through a lot. But now, like, we've already known he went through a lot before we knew this. And then obviously with the Shuri stuff, we realized he had a lot of trauma and all that. But look at this, and we haven't even gotten to the traumatic part where Shuri presumably kills the king either. So my guy Brooke has been through way too much. You know what I mean? Like, this is, because this ain't even the end of the sadness for this flashback. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. What is with this fog? I'm very curious. I mean, maybe they'll explain it here in a second, but like, are we supposed to believe it's just a random happenstance thing, or did someone make this happen? But Kandel died. Your Highness, we still owe the government this year's heavenly tribute, so they are a government allied nation, but we can't pay to afford them. And then we see the building is still, like, you know, the castle's falling apart, but they are still training. Whoa there. Princess, the way you move, sometimes it's like you can see the future. I'm gonna be just like mommy. I mean, mother. So obviously we know that, you know, observation hockey has future sight. I don't know if that's what they're implying, but whenever she says I'm gonna be just like mommy, I'm guessing that she was a future sight queen, I'm assuming. I think you would be well suited for that, but I doubt your father would be pleased at the notion of you fighting on the front lines, Princess. Father, he seems troubled lately. Man, before I continue, I just gotta say that the art, like these little panels where Brooke is like just walking around the kingdom and we get these little like background shots of different places, dude, they've all been like amazing, right? Like, some of the paneling here is ridiculous. Like, I feel like I have such a good sense of what this kingdom was like in each of the time periods. And I just think that's awesome, dude. Like, the different hedge like formations we've seen, because they have like music notes and all that kind of stuff. They have the harp in the back, and now like here on this one it's raining, but you can see like some of the stuff is still not in great shape, and like the tree is dead. And oh, dude, it's like the panels are fire. I have an idea why, but there's nothing we can do about it. I will simply follow the king to the very end. Didn't you want to become a pirate, Brooke? I'm happy to put my own dreams on hold while I repay my debt to His Majesty. When the time comes, I'm going with you. Birch, are you in the chat? Are you in the chat, Birch? I know the Gunko for Nakama crowd is clamoring right now. They have to be. They have to be. But then Brooke says, absolutely not. Try and stop me. Oh my God. The world government is our enemy. This means war. Okay, so this chapter was already great, but the twists and turns and like emotions, like this chapter is a roller coaster, and I'm totally here for it. The government is our enemy. This means war. And then Brooke understood. If Luffy said the same thing, Brooke would give the same response. You know, like I just love Brooke, man. That is sick. He doesn't even question it. We're fighting the government? Bet. You know? It reminds me a lot of, like, I mean, Brooke wasn't there, but reminds me of the crew in Enies Lobby, but he's almost, you know, doing it here with Leuven. Commander, Your Majesty, I just ask that you tell us your reasoning first. Brooke, they demanded 1,000 slaves. That is the only way they would waive this year's heavenly tribute. Slavery in the Holy Land is a fate worse than death. No way. The government's armada will arrive in 2 months, and I have no intention of choosing human sacrifices to hand over to them. King Leuven, bro. You are, like, way up on my character rankings right now. Like, that King Leuven stepped into the limelight and just stole the show in certain ways for me. Like, this guy, meeting Brooke and, like, just being the type of king he is. Oh, dude, this guy, King Leuven, man, 10 out of 10 character. At least in the context that he exists in, you know what I mean? Like, this, like, his role in the story in the past, and obviously we haven't seen the rest, but he's probably going to get killed by his daughter or whatever. Oda, this is awesome. This is great. I love this. And I have no intention of choosing human sacrifices to hand over to them. Is our country done for, Commander? Don't all non-member nations turn into lawless zones? Are they really going to loot us for everything we've got? Apparently, there was once another nation in the West Blue that disappeared too. But that's not God Valley. Because this is before God Valley. Has the West Blue just been getting hammered by the world government? Did they even go to the other blues? Is the West Blue just the target zone? I've heard there's all these tales out where the deadly sea wind wails. About a land that makes the mighty shake with fear. A land that they won't come near. A home for the samurai and them giant folk. It exists like all the tales spoke. Like a mean old bee, a sting and they'll flee. They said to consider your views. Because we've got nothing left to lose. Wahaha. Hey, that's right. I'm getting emotional, guys. I gotta be honest. This is why I love Brooke. They're all sad and worried. But then Brooke just starts playing a song and he changes their spirits, right? And that's like, you go to the time skip whenever he gets taken by like the long arms and stuff. And it's the same thing where like they're all worried about this war that they have with the long legs and all this. And he starts playing music and they literally tell him like, wow, like after you started playing, we got the courage to fight back and all this stuff. And it like that. And you could even look like at Brooke's music freeing the souls from the chest keepers in a similar way where it's like he's like liberating them, like giving them the courage to free themselves. If you wanted to look at it that way, because it was the music that kind of did it and the soul powers, but you know what I mean? Like that, it's like the rallying cry factor, you know? This is great. 10 out of 10 chapter, man. 10, seriously. 11 out of 10. This is resetting my scale again. Because I know there's a couple pages left here. They've landed on the northern port. Platoon 12. Intercept. Y'all better buzz off. Okay, before I read this, because one other thing I did want to say, because I am just loving this. Whenever Brooke is singing this song, and he says, there's all these tales, like Laugh Tale, potentially, out where the deadly sea wind wails, a land that makes the mighty shake with fear, a land they won't come near, a home for the samurai, and them giant folk. It exists like all the tales spoke. Is he talking about the ancient kingdom? Or some iteration of that? Because like it's kind of like with Big Mom, she wants a place where everybody can stay or whatever. Is Brooke sort of talking about the ancient kingdom where everyone got to live equally or something like that, and he's saying like it makes the mighty shake with fear because the government was scared of that and they won't come near because I mean maybe it got deleted or locked, maybe it's the bottom of Ennie's lobby, I don't know. But I do think that song is a little bit of like a hint towards Laugh Tale in a certain way, because like Laugh Tale probably talks about that, you know. Let's see. Nobody said that there'd be this many of them. Don't let them set foot on the island. Y'all better buzz off. Okay, one more thing. The fact that earlier we had the y'all better buzz off part, like with him and Shuri, and now it sort of cascades into this like rallying cry song, right? This like war, like this motivational thing for the people. And it's starting to say y'all better buzz off again. Like the way he's making that like a double entendre, I guess. Maybe that's not the right word, but like a double meaning there. I can't, seriously, guys, I can't get over it. This is I see why everyone was saying 10 out of 10. We're out here on the map's edge, but don't y'all scoff. Our name ain't something that can be wiped with ease. Huff, huff. So Brook is out here fighting the world government. You see the flag. You'll find taking our home ain't gonna be no breeze. Dude. Brook coming towards us with the government people behind him like he just cooked them all. This is so good. This is seriously one of my favorite chapters of all time. Commander, the enemy has breached the palace. I'll hold the barricade at the staircase. Why can't I fight too? That's out of the question. We'll be at their mercy if they capture you. That is true. Don't you have any crazy ideas now, Princess? It's a raider. Oh man, Princess, the garden we always walked by. And Brook is just cooking them, man. It's been set ablaze. Oh, Your Majesty, the junkyard we used to play in has been reduced to a hellish inferno. Y'all better buzz off. Y'all better buzz off. The edge of the map's a hell of a sight, 'cause it shines mighty bright. And look at dude. I can't take it. The music notes, Brook is singing while his country is under attack, and his benefactors and like the girl he's been protecting and stuff are in trouble. Ah, man, this is just, I don't even know what to say anymore. If we finally snap for real, that shaking is all you'll feel. Your Majesty, Princess Shuri, what am I about to... I don't know what I'm supposed to say. This is I genuinely don't know what to say. Birch, save my girl. I mean, she seems all right now. Worried about the war? It's already over, Brook. And we get one of the most shocked faces I've ever seen. Aren't you happy? Oh gosh, this is... I know this is about to be a big statement, but this might be the best chapter I've ever read. It's easily top 5, top 3. I don't even have to think about it. It's top 3 for sure. I feel like I've cried for multiple reasons this chapter. You know what I mean? This was a loaded chapter, guys. Oh my god. So here we have who I believe is Marcus Mars. I saw some people saying in the chat. I mean, I don't know. It's very bird-like, and we saw him. It's definitely him. The Mars is here. I don't know who this guy is in the back. Do we know who this guy is? But then we see Shuri. You know, in Domi Reversi / Emu controlled mode, whatever it is. And Leuven, if you guys look, also has wings and horns. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, did they try transforming him first, but he fought back, but Shuri didn't, or something like that? But then, I see some people saying Shiryu in the chat. It does, his face does look like that. I don't think it's actually him, but we do know, you know, he worked for, like, he was, you know, he worked for Impel Down for a while, so he was government affiliated, and, shoot, what was I gonna say? I can't remember, but it would make sense. Oh, and also with the Man Marked by Flames, he's the one who said, like, oh, I bet you that it's, like a government person. So, like, that, you know, he's definitely government focused, right? So, Shiryu's dad, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Shiryu's dad. I'm going with Shiryu's dad. So this is what Brooks saw and what he went through that made him angry at Shuri, right? Like, think back to how mad he was. Like, I'd hope I never have to see you again. I couldn't believe that happened, etc., etc. And now we know the context where it's not just that she killed the king, and it's not just that the king helped Brooke out a lot in his life and was like his best friend and all that kind of stuff. But it's also that Brooke, he was battling the entire government's armada to get to this castle and cooking everyone along the way, singing, and then he gets here and the music stops and he finds this. And for the last 70, 60 something years, whatever it is, 60-ish, I think. Yeah, because he's like 27, and yeah, so like 60-ish, high 50s years since then. This is what he's been dealing with. And then he met Laboon and lost Laboon. And then he lost his crew. And then he was all by himself for 50 years. And then he met his new crew. And then he got separated from them after like a month for 2 years. I don't want to hear any Brooke slander ever again. Ever again of any variety. Genuinely, like I said, this might be the best chapter I've ever read. Like the one where Roger found Laugh Tales up there for me. Gear 5's obviously up there for me. There's some ones from earlier in the story that are definitely up there, but for me personally, Rapo, you said, and I will get to all the super chats, obviously, but Rapo, you said, that's why he's so happy to be alive again. We get it now. Now we can see what Luffy has really done for Brooke, right? Like the hope, the togetherness that, like, you know, he's found and lost so many times, but now Luffy being the guy he is and meeting Laboon and all that, like, it's it's not that he ever wanted to go through these things, but it makes all these struggles worth it because it led him here. And I just think that, like, I don't know. This is genuinely, it's a moving chapter. Seriously. This is so moving. Man, 10 out of 10, guys. Genuinely. Let Shuri live her dream, damn it. Birch. Not that being called Brooke is is a bad thing, but Birch. I might be joining you on Shuri for Nakama. I might have to firmly join the agenda. I'm at this point. I might have to. I might have to be a Shuri for Nakama believer. Not even because I think it'll happen, but because it just has to. It just, and not even that. Maybe she doesn't end up as a crewmate. Maybe she's like a pseudo crewmate, like a carrot, or maybe what Bonnie ends up as. I don't know, but I don't care. I don't. Brooke and Shuri got to have some happiness in some form or fashion at the end of this. I don't care anymore. I'm good. I don't care. It has to happen. It has to happen. And I saw somebody bring this up. Who was it? Corrosis, you said with the piano in the back too. Having the piano in the back is a good touch because the whole time Brooke is singing this song, it's very musical. You see the music notes, and then you get in here with a piano that like Brooke has played many times and all that, and it's like, but there is no music notes, and all the music stops, and it's just like I could see in the anime when they do this, they're gonna have like an awesome song. Brooke's gonna be singing. He's gonna walk in here, and they're gonna like have that loud piano crash sound, or not piano crash, but like where they just hit all the keys and the piano stops. You know what I mean? They're gonna have that right when he sees it, and like we'll see his face first. So like we'll know, okay, he just saw something terrible, and then we'll go and we'll actually see the piano and everyone else. Like I can already see it. I would almost put money on that they're going to do that because that choreography would be fire. Oh my God, this episode, you can lock in a reaction from me for this episode. You can lock that, this whole flashback, you can lock it in. But this episode in particular, I am so moved, genuinely. Quack Wars. Quack Wars, you might be right about this, man. Hold'em and Shiryu had a kid. Damn, that is what it does look like. Hold'em and Shiryu had a child. That is like, it scares me how on point that is, but that is literally what it looks like. It looks like Hold'em and Shiryu did the fusion dance. That is crazy. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm genuinely moved, guys. This was, shout out to nobody for spoiling me on a single thing. But this is one of the best chapters I've ever read, easily. All right, let me go ahead and get to some of the super chats. Let me see what you guys are cooking. I got some questions like about the fog. I'm very curious on some theories on that. I'm sure there are some. But man, just such a good chapter, genuinely. And thank you in advance for all the donations. I see there's quite a few, so thank you as always. And actually, let me do this first so I don't mess up. Because I know Bushido gifted some memberships, but I want to go back through and just make sure I get any. Okay, nope. Yep, Cloud Lizard, then you. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure because those don't go over on Streamlabs, and that's a whole problem. But I think I got them all. Bushido, member for 39 months. As always, thank you for all your support, brother. Brooke gave strong Kuzan vibes this chapter. I do. So whenever I brought up Brooke, like when he had the number 9 shirt on, you know, whenever I did a short about him and Kuzan being related, and that was like a big thing, is like I showed the pictures of them as kids, where we have actually multiple images of Brooke as a kid, but like they look so similar, like Kuzan and Brooke when they're kids, and you could kind of argue now, but when they're kids, definitely. And I do think that that's looking more likely. I don't really know how they're related, but I would be surprised if they're not at this point, for sure. And for €5, Brooke, yo, show them panties. Candel, wait. Brooke, yo, show them panties. Candel, Brooke, madame, may I perceive your undergarments, please and thank you. Yeah, dude, that whole bit is so funny to me. Brooke was hilarious this chapter, I gotta say. The whole, like, I mean, the panty thing, the telling Candel how beautiful she is thing, like the one where it's like I got to be near him, and Brooke's like, oh, is it me? Brooke was hilarious this whole time, and like the speech thing, like how that's carried into today. It's like, I don't know. I just find that so awesome. You know, Candel is part of the reason that he speaks the way he does. That's Oda's world building, you know. It's awesome. It is awesome. Mr. Bushido again, we're €2. The kingdom Brooke mentioned means hairdo, afro piece. Oh, Kamigata? Really? Because I'm just thinking like baby Blackbeard looked like he had an afro, and obviously we had the afro in the Davy back fight, and I don't know if there is sort of like a hair element to this whole thing, right? Like, do all the Davies have afros, and is that part of it? Like, whenever are all the kingdoms in the West Blue ran by Davy members? Like, is the West Blue just the sea of the Davies, you know? And is that why, like, they said that another country got erased recently because that was another Davy country? Like, is that what this is shaping up to be? That every country is connected to the Davies in some way, shape, or form? Because that's kind of how I feel. I got to be honest. That's how it's shaping up. Knack Talk with the Canadian $2. And I got to go kind of fast just so I can get through them, but obviously I will read every single one for sure. Knack Talk with the Canadian $2. This chapter reminded me why I love this story. I could not agree with that super chat anymore, Knack. I genuinely, that is what I was trying to say the whole time when I'm like, guys, I'm so moved. This is my favorite chapter. Like that. And it's not that I like forgot why I love this story or anything, but this hammered home all the things that like attached me to One Piece. And it's not just because it's Brooke. Now, the fact it is Brooke is making me ascend to the heaven realm repeatedly. You know what I mean? Like I could rapture to heaven right now, I think. But the story beats, the character development, even adding the music into it, the shock at the end, and how that ties into the suffering and stuff that we know he's gone through, like that. This is exactly the type of stuff that I love from One Piece. You know, this is the stuff that hits me. So I agree with you, Knack. Genuinely, this more, because like seeing Emu, you know, reveal, super hype. I love it. Seeing Loki's dragon form, super hype. I love it. All the God's Night stuff, super hype. I love it. Zaza, super hype. I love it. But this kind of stuff is why I love One Piece. You know, like the fighting and the reveals and all that. Like, can't have One Piece without it. They are also great. But this emotional stuff right here, this character stuff, that's it. That's what I am like. I would like to tell you guys, because there's a break next week. I don't think I said that. I did see it, though. I would like to tell you guys I'm going to have a video out on this. I might. I'm like so moved by it. I don't know what the video would be, because I don't want to just do a chapter review. I would almost want to do like, we just got reminded by why One Piece is the best, or that's like the kind of video I would want to do. But I am gonna tonight. And tomorrow probably I'm gonna sit and just reread this and think about it. And I'll probably cook something up. I can't say it for sure, but this is like, right now I got too many thoughts. But man, I agree with you, Knack, 100%. This reminded me why I love this story so much. Birch, I agree with what you just said. Before I get to the super chat, you said this flashback has the emotion that felt kind of lacking from the rest of Elbaf. Exactly, because like there are some things in Elbaf that were emotional. Like even Brooke, you know, being mad at Gunko is part of that. I was like, oh, like I like that. I want to learn more, and now we are. But like that was a little bit of emotion. Obviously, we had like the kids and the parents thing, which was very touching, and I love that. And it did hit pretty hard. And I mean, there's been a few other things, but this, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but this is like the magic. You know, this is like, I don't know how to put it. It has that One Piece touch to it. You know, it has that little something special that One Piece does all the time. It has it. And And like the story's gotten pretty close and done a good job for a lot of Elbaf and even Egghead and stuff. But this is like, it's not just like hitting, it's not just like scratching that itch. It's like, I don't even know what to, I don't even know how to just, it's like, I don't even know. It's right on the money on exactly the type of thing I wanted from, I mean, the story in general or Brooke's flashback, but it's like, it's hitting all of it, you know? Oda knew what he was doing with this flashback. He knew he was cooking. Man. He knew. It's genuinely so good. Reese Lucas with the $10. What you cooking? Shuri and Laboon are a lot alike. Laboon is trapped between the Red Line and the promise of the Rumbar Pirates, and Shuri is trapped by Emu. And you could even say, like, arguably, like a promise from Brooke. Not that it was a promise, but like she wanted to go be a pirate with him and hang out. But anyways, Luffy gave Laboon new hope, and maybe he'll free Shuri. See, now you're getting me thinking, like, because like I've mentioned with like Brooke and the lollipop, if he pulls out a lollipop when she's like, she gets all of her memories back and she's crying, I will bawl my eyes out. But another thing that'll make me bawl my eyes out, which Oda can do both, is if he does it in a way where Luffy is the one to free Shuri, and then Brooke is able to reflect on kind of what you're talking about, Lucas, where it's like this guy, this random guy that showed up when I was stuck in the Florian Triangle and just immediately asked me to join the crew, not only met my whale and renewed new hope in that whale where the whale is waiting for us, but he also freed this girl from this demonic possession thing and brought her back into the form that I knew her. Like, I need that reflection from Brooke, right? And then it would also give him like a renewed, like, not that he needs a renewed sense of belief in Luffy, but it would really amplify, like, yeah, this is the chosen one, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, yeah, you're cooking. That Brooke and Laboon thing, if Luffy is able to save Shuri and Brooke can, like, and she's back in her normal form and he can talk to her and give her the lollipop because of Luffy, and then he's able to, like, make her happy, but then Brooke can reflect, like, man, Luffy really is amazing. I would ascend to the Heaven Realm, and you guys would never see me again. Actually, I take that back, because we would all ascend to the Heaven Realm, and we would all be up there. Because that would, oh man, I'm like, I have never been this emotional over a chapter, ever. Mr. Bushido with the €2. The fog reminds me of the Florian Triangle. It does. And that was the first thing I thought of, but at least to my knowledge, the fog in the Florian Triangle it's not like making people sick and deteriorating things, but it does remind me of that. And it would make sense that the fog is coming here and then Brooke gets lost in the Florian Triangle because it's like he got put back in the fog. But it is a little bit weird because, like, it seems like people were getting sick and stuff. But so I'm not really sure on what that story is. But yeah, the fog is very interesting. It's very interesting. Dilko, remember, for 10 months, my guy. What you cooking? That panel of Leuven is so gas. What a goat. Dude, Leuven was a star this chapter. I mean, I talked about him a little bit, but, you know, we've been focused on Brooke and Shuri. But, guys, King Leuven, you cannot have this flashback cook as hard as it is without King Leuven. I'm telling you, like I said, this guy, he's probably second in my rankings of hype or love per chapter, which, like, because some people are not in the story very long, but they hit you really hard, and they become your favorite even though they had a rather minor role and they've only been in a few chapters or whatever, right? For me, like, Noland is my number one in that category, where he came in randomly out of nowhere, showed out to a degree that has barely been matched, and then we barely hear of him again. I mean, Dressrosa we did, but, like, for me, that's a character that has, like, the high love per chapter equation where he just came in and just immediately stole the show. King Leuven is second behind Noland in those rankings for me already. I would easily throw him up there. And like, I'd have to think about some of the other ones, but he is like I said, you can't have a good... This flashback would not be nearly as good without King Leuven. Top 10 dads in One Piece. He's up there. He's up. Hard to beat, you know, Kiros or Kuma, you know. But he's up there. Leuven is up there for sure. He's also top 5 kings in One Piece. Like Cobra's up there. Momo, I guess Momo counts. We can put Momo up there. So I mean, he's obviously new, but looking forward, I would feel confident having him up there. I mean, Leuven's up there. He's top 3. I mean, there's some other good ones. Gaimon is the king of the island of rare animals. So if we're gonna factor him in, that's a good point. That's a good point. Birch, you said Momo's a good guy, more than a good king, at least so far. Definitely. However, he did decide to keep the borders closed, and everybody thought he was going to open them. And Nushjuro was like, oh, they must have a shrewd decision maker over there. So you're right, but I think Oda's already given us some clues that Momo is a good leader as well, and he's going to cook, but he just needs some more time. But for now, you're right. He's more of a good person, but he will be a great king or leader, daimyo, by the end, for sure. Anihime with the $10 super chat. This flashback really showing how Brook has lived several full lifetimes in this damn world, and all of them are tragic, by the way. It's insane how joyful he is with so much loss, suffering, loneliness in all 90 years of his life. Yeah, that is like the perfect encapsulation of it. I can't even speak. Because like right here before this war started, right? Everyone's like, oh, do we even have a chance? They deleted that other island. What are we going to do? And Brook stands up on his soapbox, pretty much literally, and is, you know, singing this song about how, like, they got nothing left to lose. They might as well, you know, like a mean old bee, sting and they'll flee. Like, he's bringing the happiness out to them, right? Like, I don't know. Brook being able to be so happy in the moments of despair, I don't even know. It's so beautiful. That is like, that's always been one of my favorite things about Brook. Like, we show up, meet the skeleton. He's kind of nice, happy, drinking tea, playing music, and he like agrees to join our crew. And it's like right away he's like this, but then it's like, oh yeah, I had this sad thing happen. I had this sad thing happen. I had this sad thing happen, and he's still like, I'm like, okay, hold on, this guy, I like him. It's moving. It's motivating too. Like, I think a lot of us, when we watch anime or read manga, you know, we get attached to these characters because, like, how do I put it? Like, you see a little bit of yourself in them in a way, right? You're like, oh, I've been through something like that, and I like how he tackled it. Like, I'm impressed or moved that he was able to respond in that way, because when I went through something bad, I didn't. And then next time you go through something bad, you look at, you know, you would get reminded of these moments, and you're like, all right, hold on, let me be like my boy, you know. And I feel like Brook is like one of the best examples of that, right? Like being happy in the face of this horrible stuff, like. And that's what really hits me about this final page here, right? Where Brook is so shocked. Like I said, like, whenever they do the anime, they're gonna like have all the piano keys hit, and the music's gonna stop all at once, because like this is too much even for him, I think, is the idea. Like later he gets over it and becomes happy again, but like in this moment, like, look, like he's going through the front lines of this war, he's cooking everybody and he's singing and he's fine, but then he gets here and it's too much. And it's just so good, man. It's so good. It's so good. Thank you, Anihime. Appreciate you. Mr. Bushido with the €2. The fog is the result of the awakened smoke fruit. I actually like that. Because if Smoker has the smoke fruit and it also is a Logia, I would presume the government gave it to him. Like kind of, well, yeah, probably. And so maybe they had it from a prior user, because maybe they had another smoke guy, that was out here doing this kind of stuff. And I could see that, actually. I think that would actually be really, like, cool lore to bring smokers' fruit back in a different way. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. So, yeah, actually, I like that. The more I think about it, yeah. That'd be a cool one. Debus, I just saw you said in the chat, the composers are cooking for this. And then Rapo, you said they have to. And I agree. I co-sign. They have to. And they know they have to. And they will cook. Whenever they really try to, like, nail, like, a new OST or whatever, dude, they cook. I feel like One Piece, I mean, we all know One Piece music is top tier, right? But whenever they got to, like, really build up the moment with the right song, they know how to do that if they need to. And this moment, maybe more than any other, like, genuinely, maybe more than any other moment in the entire story, I think they have to nail the music here, because it's Brook, right? That we're in the kingdom of music or whatever, right? Like, this has to be special in terms of music, this whole flashback. I'm talking new OSTs, maybe, like, remastered versions of old ones, whatever. It has to. Terrible TJ with the $5. I think that the world government utilized the sick fruit to bring famine to Asperia. That is another good idea. Not only did the citizens fall ill, but the instruments did too, right? That's a good point. Because, like, going back to the smoke fruit, you could maybe argue, like, the smoke, it's like, carcinogenic or whatever. Like, it's going to make you, sick just through that. And, like, maybe it deteriorates things, kind of like how areas with lots of pollution, the buildings are dirtier and stuff, I guess. I guess you could, like, kind of reason it like that. But the sick fruit is also interesting, because it's like it's making everything sick, even, like, the items, which, like, instruments, I guess a lot of them are also, made of wood, and I guess you could argue, like, that's, like a tree, so, like, it could actually get sick or whatever, right? It could, like, actually get infected and deteriorate. But honestly, even if they're, like, metal and stuff, I could even see, like, the awakened sick fruit make anything sick, right? Or, like, sick in its own way, because, like, I mean, like, trees getting sick has already been a big thing throughout One Piece, with Noland especially. And so, like, making, like I said, the instruments and stuff kind of impacted, I think, would make sense. But, like, even if they're metal, we haven't really seen that. But I could totally see the awakened sick fruit being able to make metal things sick as well. Maybe they would just start rusting away, or, you know what I mean? Something like that, because they're sick in the way that metal gets sick, if that sort of makes sense. I could see that, and I would actually like that a lot. And remember, we saw with Doc Q and Law's crew that he can make people sick, like, from a distance, even through the water. So sending over a fog of, like, viruses or whatever, I could see that, and that would be cool. I love that you guys are bringing up, like, these fruits, because, like, we're 50 or 60 years in the past. So, like, Doc Q wasn't even alive back then, right? Smoker, how old is Smoker? I mean, I don't think he's that old, but what is he, like 40 something? Let me look this up. I honestly have no idea. I always forget that his nickname is White Chase. Does anybody ever call him White Chase? He's 36, so yeah, so, he wasn't even close to being born yet. And so I like that you guys are bringing him up, because they probably did have a role back then, right? So I do think if this fog is from a fruit, it's gonna be one that we've seen, because it would just be cool for Oda. I guess it could also be Caesar's, right? It could be Caesar's. I don't know if anybody else is gonna say that in the chat, but it could be Caesar's. Let's see, Mr. Bushido with the €5. Do you think the flashback ends here, or we keep going with Brook's life? See Yorkie, ? See who, them, I think that night. See who. See, I think you're trying to say, like, see the knight that looks like Shiryu, I think is what you're, like, see more of this guy. I think that's what you're trying to say. I think it's a little typo. So as for the first part, do I think the flashback will end here? No. I mean, I don't think when we start chapter 1186, it's going to immediately go to Elbaf with Brook being like, and that's what happened. I think we're going to get a little bit more. Like, Brook is going to have to escape from here, right? Because, like, I'm sure they're not just going to willy-nilly let Brook go. He's probably going to have to, like, fight his way out. He has a freaking Gorosei in front of him in his zone form, you know what I mean? And obviously Shuri is transformed and stuff. So like he's going to have to get out of here. He's going to have his little bit of reaction. As far as seeing Yorkie, I'm a little 50-50. Like I would like it if this extends to where Brook meets Yorkie, and then maybe the flashback ends where Brook is like, and from then on, I hung out with the Rumbar Pirates until I met you guys, or you know, and then that's how he ends it. Like that would make more sense to me. So I hope we see him escape. Then we get a little bit of a time skip where it's like a few years went by and Brook, you know, went back to like when he was a kid and he was just scrounging for scraps on random islands or whatever. Because after this, I mean, where's he gonna go, right? The kingdom's taken over. And then eventually he finds Yorkie by doing that. I think that's most likely, if I had to say. And I think that will be all next chapter. It'll probably end, if not in the next chapter, it'll be the very beginning of 1187. So I think we got about one full chapter-ish of flashback. And then also about the knight that looks like Shiryu. Yeah, we should see a little more of him too. Like Brook needs to have a little bit of a back and forth here, I think. Like, wait, Shuri, what's happening? And she'd be like, I feel more powerful than ever. And then the guy will be like, we've been waiting for you, Brook. You know, like there's gonna be a little bit of a back and forth. But yeah, I think one chapter left if I had to guess. I'd be down for 100 more if Oda wants though. Cloud Lizard with the $5 super chat. Oda taking these break weeks to give us absolute peak music in the series. Dude, please. I hope that's what it is. I hope that's what it is. He's given us peak music either way, but I hope that's what it is. Oda looked at your live in April and was like, yeah, sadness is the way. Yep. I mean, man, I don't know if you guys can keep hearing me sniffle, but that is genuinely because I was like tearing up so much. Like I was not, like my allergies are not kicking in. I am not sick at all. This is all from this chapter that I am sniffling like a baby from this. Yeah, I mean, Oda, if you're watching, I hope you got the the reaction you were looking for. I hope you did. I hope you're watching this like, yes, I finally made Dak feel like an emotional mess, you know? If that's what you were hoping for, Oda, you got it. You got it. I'm scared to think of how you could ever top this in terms, and with the Void Century, when we get to some more Celestial Dragon stuff, I'm sure there's going to be some horrible, tragic things that we're going to see, but this is up there. Oda, you cooked so hard, Oda. genuinely. Man. And real quick before I move on, one thing I was curious about, and I can't think of any reasons, but if you guys have any in the chat, let me know. Why do you think it's Mars that's here? Is there a specific reason that it's Mars? Or did Oda just pick one that looked cool and that's the end of it? Like, you know, like is there a reason that the bird one had to come here for some reason? Or does Mars have a connection with the West Blue that is tied to this? Do each Gorosei take care of a different ocean? Like, is he for all the West Blue activities? Which, no, Saturn went to God Valley, so it's not that. I'm curious why it's Mars, of all the Gorosei. Like, maybe there's not a reason. Maybe Oda just had to pick one. But I wonder. Let's see. Terrible TJ with the $2. Mars' eyes look like Shiryu's mind transfer jutsu. Or sorry, looks like Shuri's, not Shiryu's. Mars' eyes looks like Shuri's mind transfer jutsu. Yeah, so I wonder if the implication here is that Mars can, like, either Mars or this guy back there can control other people, because like it's not Emu, right? But Emu's the one who took over Gunko's body before and all that. So it's like, you know, what exactly is the story there? I saw Dean's Life. I don't know if anybody else said this, but you said he probably devised the fog. Birch, you said the Itsumade is tied to epidemics and death. So yeah, so maybe he is the one who sent the fog to begin with, which, like, if he's a bird and he's tied to the sky and all that, like, I guess you could argue like he's like bringing it, like breezing in the fog, you know, into the area for a while or whatever. Yeah, I guess that would probably be it. I wouldn't be shocked at all, because like, actually, remember how Saturn had like the poison stuff that he was using because he was a spider, so it made sense. I wonder if they all have like poison, you know, abilities that we just haven't fully seen yet, right? Like they all can poison people, but in different ways. Where like Saturn's is literally like balls of venom, or he injects it with, you know, the like his legs or whatever. Mars can bring in like poison smog or whatever. I don't know what the other ones would really be. Topman just smells really bad, you know. I don't know, but it could be like maybe this was Mars's whole mission, right? Like from a while ago, he was tasked with making sure this went on, like this all happened without a hitch, right? And so he's the one who devised it. I could see that because, like, I mean, I'm sure these are planned out, right? Like I'm sure they think through this. I mean, even with God Valley, they visited God Valley 2 years before they cleansed it, so like they definitely do, you know, think through this. So that's a good point. Mars bringing in the fog is more likely than I thought at first, for sure. That's a good theory. That's a good theory. Anyway, TJ, I don't think I finished the point that I was talking about here, but yeah, so can other Gorosei also take over people? Because that does seem to be the implication too. Or this guy, Hold'em and Shiryu's dad. You know, this, I don't know what powers he would have or who he really is, but I mean, unless Emu was here at some point, which I doubt. So yeah, I feel like Mars can just take over people, but I don't know if there has to be some like agreement, contract, exchange, because like even Emu does like the contracts, but he forces people into it. So I guess Mars, I don't know how that really works. Debus with the Canadian $7. Sanji's grandfather. Brooke said the Vinsmoke family name made his backbone crawl. The only problem is, you know, they're very North Blue centric. So it would be like kind of strange for a Vinsmoke to come over here and also even be like working with the government per se. Like, not that, like, they're obviously not good people, so I could see them working for the government in a way, but I also think, like, we didn't see Judge really doing that. Or, well, he was friends with them, but, like, this is a totally different tier of thing that's happening. You know what I mean? Like, he's here with the Gorosei in person, taking over people demonically. Feels a little bit different than I thought the relationship was between Germa and the government. But that's not to say it's impossible. Maybe they were really helping with this stuff. I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But since they're North Blue centric, I feel like Oda's not going to go that route, because it's almost like, maybe it's just my 2 cents, but it's almost like he's like forcing the Sanji and Brooke layer to this, where like it's cool that they would have that connection, but there's so much going on already that like we don't really need to. But like I was almost more expecting like maybe this kingdom and Germa didn't get along, and that was it in general. But like taking over the country, like that's I mean, like it would be cool. I just feel like it's almost a little bit much. You're kind of forcing that layer to it, but certainly not impossible. I mean, I'm sure Germa for a long time has been doing shady business in general. Now, this level of shady business alongside the government, that isn't something I had on my bingo card, but it would be cool nonetheless. It would be cool. It would be. Let's see. TJ. A Don working for the government. Moron family. He does look like that too, right? He does look a little bit like Don. I always feel bad calling him Don Moron, because it's like I'm calling him a moron, but he also did die, and like barely anybody ever dies in One Piece. So that's, maybe he does deserve to be called a moron, but he does kind of look like that. It is crazy how this guy looks. He looks like Shiryu. He's got the face of Shiryu. He's got the face of Hold'em. He's also got the face of Don Moron. He's also, you know, smoking the cigar, which is very Don Moron. And also the Dons are in the West Blue. And we saw at the beginning of the flashback that Brooke was cooking a bunch of mafia guys. So actually, I think it would make a lot of sense if the Don family came back in a major way. It's like, hey, Brooke, I saw you cooked like one of our lower level Don families. Like maybe this is the Don of the entire thing, which Beige told us that there's 5 crime families, I believe, in the West Blue, and he's from one of them. So I'm not really sure on like the dynamics of the whole organization and the politics of it and all that kind of stuff, but I could see maybe there was one Don at the top, like a secret leader of the Don families, which, I mean, it's kind of like having a secret leader at the top of the government, and maybe he kind of came back for revenge here. That actually, I think, would be kind of cool. I would like that probably more than like Sanji or anything else, just because like because they're already in the West Blue, and it brings back the point that we already saw earlier where Brooke did cook that family, right? So I think that comes full circle better, and it feels very natural. So I think that's actually a good theory, TJ. I actually do. I like it. JR Writer, you're after this one. Cloud Lizard first. And actually, well, Cloud Lizard, you have 2 pretty much back to back. So for $2, he's the Admiral. Rocks kills, in my opinion. Love that. 10 out of 10. Love that idea. There's not like, well, here, let's see. Okay, your other chat doesn't. I thought your other chat might give some more detail. I don't really have like a good reason to point to say that, oh yeah, this is definitely him. But I just love that could be it. You know, like that world building element to it, that an admiral came here alongside a Gorosei to take over this kingdom, and they cooked Brooke's kingdom, but then later Rocks, who may be related to Brooke because they're both from the West Blue and the Davy Afro thing that could be a thing, you know, whatever. Then he actually gets revenge for Brooke in a way. That is awesome. That would be sick. That would be sick. Cloud Lizard, I approve. I approve of that message. And then I'll just do your other one real quick, and then I'll get to JR Writer. The eyes are a special oracle race or trait. The eye... Oh, you mean like Shuri's eyes? Like her heterochromatic eyes? Like maybe that means something? That would be sort of sick if... Because it said that she was seeing the future and stuff too, right? And like maybe that is part of this. Like what if she is a special race that even ties into why she's being controlled, right? Because like you think back to like Pudding might be a good person to think of here, because like the third eye doesn't see the future, but it is like it can... We don't really even know, but it can read anything. Like it can read the poneglyphs supposedly, or that's what they think if she awakens her third eye. And like I could see another eye sort of like race that's important in a way. And maybe instead of her being able to like read anything, no matter what language, or hear the voice or whatever it is, yeah, she's got just, you know, different powers. She can see the future. Maybe it ties into this demonic stuff. Like that would be kind of cool. And I think they said that Candel can also see the future, right? Because I think she was like, they said just like your mom. So, and she didn't have 2 eyes, so I don't know if that would maybe... But I mean, it could not... The eyes could just be a design choice, and maybe Candel is just from a future seeing race. What kind of like Shiarli, I suppose. What she's like, thinks she's special, you know, and she like had the crystal ball and all that, but we kind of have that a little bit. So I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. I would like it. JR Writer, now we're on to yours for $5. Appreciate you, by the way. If that's Mars, his environmental god title makes sense if it's tied to the fog. Great point. Yeah, because we were talking about that earlier. Great point. If he's the environmental god and he did cause this fog because he's like pestilence or whatever, that would all kind of line up. Hoping now Venus is tied to Nami's backstory for finance god position. And I love that. I've always been a fan of that. And a big reason why is because she's from Oikot, which is Tokyo backwards, which makes you think Japan. Nusjuro looks like he could be from Wano. Wano is like Japan in the One Piece world. So if there was a Gorosei that should be tied to Nami's country, I think he would make the most sense. And as you brought up the finance god part, that layer to it only added to the potential of him and Nami having a connection. So I love that, and I think you're going to be right. I think Venus will be like whatever happened in Oikot. Venus is playing a similar role to Mars here in Asperia. I feel very confident. And if I was Oda, which I'm not, if I was, I would have a lot more money. But if I was Oda, and I had Brook be impacted negatively by a Gorosei in his past, and then Nami be impacted by a Gorosei in the past, I would make sure that like every Straw Hat was impacted. Not every Straw Hat, sorry, but like every Gorosei impacted at least one Straw Hat, right? Like, well, I guess you could say like Saturn to a degree with Robin already, you know, right? Well, like all the Gorosei really, but probably mainly him. Trying to think. Well, he was also tied to God Valley, which is there's other layers to that too. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but I would, if I was Oda, that's what I would do. I would make sure every Gorosei had an impact on the Straw Hats, so the Straw Hats have more motivation to band together to hate these guys, right? I think that's awesome. That's awesome. 25th Slayer with the $5 super chat. No, I missed the reaction. I don't know why I didn't get a notification. We will rewatch it though. 25th Slayer, I'm just happy you're here. Hopefully you got to see some of it. Probably worth a watch. That was my most emotional reaction for sure. I'm just happy you got to make it for a little bit. This is a moment to celebrate. And I will say, as far as the notifications go, not that I'm like overly worried about it, but you know, because I've also been getting the strikes, but over the last few months, I haven't been getting as many views on the videos, and I do get a lot of comments that are like, I didn't get the notification, or I didn't even see you posted this, I didn't even know, you know, these came out, whatever. And so that is something to think about if you haven't watched some of the videos, maybe, I hate telling people to go click the notification bell, because like, I get enough notifications as it is. I don't need any more, and I don't want to tell you to go get them, but if you have been missing the videos, that's probably one option. But it seems like sometimes they're not sending them anyway. So I don't know what YouTube's doing, but it seems like that's a common thing right now. I don't know why. Chat. Looks like a Vinsmoke chin. Vinsmokes have black sails marked by flames, and could be how Brook knows Vinsmoke name. I feel like this is the third, or at least the second chat I've read about it. I know in the regular chat, I saw there was a bunch of people talking about it. I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm still thinking like, you know, this is their North Blue, and I feel like it's not that it would end up being forced. It just, for me right now, it feels like we'd be forcing it, like to just have their families be connected in a way, you know. But I mean, it's possible. I don't think there's anything in the story that would rule it out. The man marked by flames part is interesting too, because I remember when everybody was saying it, but that he kind of looks like Shiryu as well. And like I was saying, Shiryu is the guy who was saying, oh, the world government probably has, you know, somebody protecting the poneglyph or whatever. Like, I bet you it's them. And so that it is, you know, it is kind of interesting to maybe factor in the man marked by flames here, at least. I really did like the idea that this is the admiral that got killed. But if the man marked by flames will be some mysterious government guy that we don't know about yet, this guy does feel like a good candidate, I will say. He does. So maybe. Again, as far as the Sanji stuff goes, again, I'm probably leaning more towards the Dawn family, or even Shiryu or something. But hey, I mean, Vinsmokes would be cool too. I just would be very curious on like kind of all the layers that Oda builds up, because like I said a bunch of times, like they're North Blue centric, and yes, I'm sure they tried to do some stuff in the other blues, but like even in modern times they're North Blue centric, like 70 years later. So it's kind of like, what's the full story there for me? But I do like the man marked by flames angle. I will say that. I think that would make sense, because this guy, I mean, he's gotta be special, right? Like, for him to be in this room with Mars while Mars is presumably controlling Shuri, and Leuven also has horns and wings, so I think he got controlled as well. And for this guy to even be privy to this, I just think that's like, he's big time. Whoever this is, he's big time. He is big time. You guys are saying holy night, holy night. I mean, probably. I mean, I do, like I said, I like the Admiral angle a lot too, and he does have the shoulder pads, you know, like Admiral's got. Although I think some of the God's Knights uniforms might have had similar things, because they have like they have nice uniforms too, right? So he does kind of look like, he looks like a God's Knight and an Admiral at the same time. Like, it's like a God's Knight put on their uniform and then put on the Admiral coat over it. Like, and he has a hat that makes me think Impel Down. It's like he's in every branch of the government. It's like he has all of the, like, you know, some of like the veterans that have like all the pins all over their jacket. It's like this guy reminds me of that. It feels like he's done a tour in like every branch of the military, you know. So yeah, probably a Holy Knight, but maybe an Admiral, maybe somehow both, or maybe an Admiral that got promoted to God's Knight. I don't know. Maybe a Impel Down guard that got promoted to Holy Knight. I don't really know. But he looks like all of them. And I think that's crazy. Which, it's sick. It's a sick design. Like, he's got Hold'em's body, but but he's like way cooler than him. But, yeah, I don't know. This guy is super mysterious. I hope, if this guy is alive, I hope that Brooke fights this guy. I think that would be awesome. If Brooke got to, you know, throw hands with him and beat him, presumably, to get revenge on what happened. That'd be cool. I feel like he's going to be dead, if I had to guess. But that would be cool. I would love if Brooke got to fight him. I just did Dustin Halo. That's right, about the Marked by Flames and Vinsmokes. Bushido for €5. To continue Dustin Halo's point, I do have a Vinsmoke and Brooke theory on Discord and Reddit, and that Judge was a Celestial Dragon in Oda's draft notes. Well, I will leave that to Bushido's theory for you guys to check out over in the Discord, because I am not too familiar, but I'm not too big of a believer on like any of Germa being Celestial Dragons. Like, I feel like they are the type to like not want to be under someone's thumb, you know what I mean? Like, even Big Mom, like, you know, they went in thinking it was going to be a partnership, which was stupid. You know, I mean, like, that was dumb to... You would think if they had all this intel, they would know that Big Mom's been screwing people over forever. You would think, but they don't feel like the type of people that would willingly agree to like be under someone else's thumb. Maybe it's just me, but like I said, I'll leave that to Bushido's theory for sure. I don't think it's impossible. It's just maybe just my opinion, where I don't think it's going to be a Vinsmoke thing, but we'll see. And I'm also kind of basing it a lot off of Judge too, where like Germa could have been a lot different before Judge, right? Like, Judge himself, I don't think would want to be under somebody, but maybe part of the reason that Germa got as big as they did is because they were working with the government for a long time in secret, and then whenever Judge took over, he was like, screw that. Maybe that's an angle too. Or it could be vice versa, where maybe, because you said that you have a theory about Judge being a Celestial Dragon, or well, that he was in Oda's draft notes. Could also be the opposite, where maybe Germa was doing their own thing, but then maybe Judge started working with them or something. But I feel like they're gonna be their own thing, but we'll see. We will see. Time Lord with the $5 super chat. The fact only West Blue Islands are getting targeted, that's fascinating, and I agree. Maybe Luffy was born in the East and Joy Boy in the West, kings of the East and West. So I would actually say that, I mean, If Joy Boy is Davy Jones, then yes. If that's where Oda's going and they are the same person, then yes. If they are different people, then I feel like it's going to be a repeat of like Blackbeard and Luffy, because Blackbeard was born in the West, or like, well, we don't actually, do we know exactly where Blackbeard was born? Because Rocks brought him to God Valley at some point. Like he said at some point he brought them there, right? So that would mean that they were born somewhere else, but either way, he's basically from the West Blue, whatever way you want to slice it, pretty much from the West Blue. And Luffy is from the East, so they're East versus West, right? They're opposites. And you could also say, like, sun rises in the East, sets in the West. Luffy's the sun god. Blackbeard's got the, black darkness fruit. So, like, him being where the sun sets makes sense, and Luffy being where it rises makes sense, like, thematically. But yeah, so if it's for Joy Boy, if Joy Boy is Davy Jones, then yes, the West makes sense. If they're separate, then I think it'd be the same thing, because if the Davies are already from the West, that kind of tells us that Davy would be from there. And then Joy Boy being, having the sun god fruit would be the same thing. He's in the West or the East where the sun rises, right? So, yeah. Onaj, like, I see you posting several times that Blackbeard was born in the Grand Line, but like I was saying, he brought him to the West, and the Davies are from the West, so it's basically the same thing, but Rocks just was out on his adventures or whatever. So I think the East versus West definitely stands, because that's Blackbeard's home country. It's just not where he was physically born, if that makes sense, right? Like his descendants are from there, and relatives and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, and I'm still kind of 50-50 on, like, Davy and Joy Boy. Like, are they the same? Like, I feel like they're probably different, and it's probably just going to be a Blackbeard Luffy version 2 or version 1, version 0, or, but the first iteration, or I guess maybe in the past there was like a sun god, even before Joy Boy, there was probably a sun god versus earth god or something that was similar, but so it's probably that, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, I do think it's very interesting, Time Lord, like you said, that islands in the West keep getting targeted. All of them that we know of. Like, I guess you could say Gray Terminal is sort of like this, but that's very different. That wasn't like it was the Kingdom of Goa wanted to do it to appease the Celestial Dragons, but I don't think it was that the Celestial Dragons were necessarily forcing them. Like, they just wanted to make the island look nicer, for whenever the Celestial Dragons visited, I believe, or something to that effect. Like, it wasn't like they were forced. I mean, the leaders of Goa were horrible people, so they would do whatever. Yeah, man. Going back to, I forget who said it earlier, but somebody said, like, this kind of, like, reminded us or renewed, like, the reason why we love this story so much. Like, my theory brain has not gone this crazy for a long time either. Like, the emotions are there, the theory parts, the recontextualization of the things we already know. Man, it's all here. I love it. Did Time Lord Repo with the £5 super chat. Something funny. I don't know what Oda was trying to draw, but is Shuri trying to catch some ugly emu fish? Well, let me go look at this. That would be right here. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's definitely what it is. It's definitely a funny little gag. That's definitely what those are. Dude, I did not even notice that. The fish. I didn't even notice. I did not. Dude. That's definitely what it is. That's so funny. Little emu fish. That is funny. I didn't even catch that. Because, like, they're all, like, looking at us so awkwardly. Like, Oda's definitely just messing around. That's a good catch. That's a good catch. That is a very good catch. I know I have a couple more super chats, but Onaj, you said, have people realized that Mars has emu eyes? Yes, but we did see him in that form before, right? Like, I remember seeing a panel where he looked just like this. Maybe it was like before we got the full reveal when they first showed up or something like that. But I know I've seen this form. Or was it when Sabo was in the room? Where was it? So I know we've seen this, and he had the same eyes, but they are emu eyes though. Like they are like double ringed, but I know we've seen this already before. But no, those are emu eyes. And then also Shuri has like those like the light streak going over the eyes, like it almost looks like a little like bit of lightning or something. We see that all the time with Domi Reversi as well. Like almost every time it happens, they have like those streaks coming out of their eyes, which, you know, it's probably just like a cool lighting effect that Oda's trying to do, but we see it almost every time. So yeah, it feels like Mars is doing Domi Reversi right now, I guess. And I'm also curious, what do you guys think? And again, I know I have a few more super chats. I will get to them, but I'm curious what you guys think about Leuven here. Why does he have horns and wings? Like, did they make him, like, did they Domi Reversi him, but he wouldn't listen, kind of like Rox did at the beginning whenever Emu showed up to God Valley? And so they just had to kill him because he wasn't going to obey? Or if we're going to get really crazy, I think that what I just said is probably the most likely. But, or did he voluntarily transform into this to try fighting back? Like, can he do this? Which, again, I don't think that's super likely, but it would be kind of sick, right? Like, what if he can opt into a demon form because of his bloodline or something like that, and he did that, and that's part of why he's dead? I think that would be very cool. Again, I think him being Domi Reversi'd but not listening is more likely, which that would also be a Chad move on his part, because if you're strong enough to not let Domi Reversi control you, I mean, you're a beast. You know, like Rox could only do that for a little bit. Now, Rox did have Emu directly in front of him, so that's, you know, I feel like that might be a little bit of a factor. I guess it was also like not the true Emu. It's not the same Emu that we have in Elbaf. You know, it's like Emu's visage through Saturn's body or whatever, but still. Oh, Rapo, you said you're heading out. Hey, thank you for being here, Rapo. Seriously, this was awesome. This chapter was awesome. Glad you could be here. Thank you for the donations. Let me see if you have any other ones real quick. I just want to make sure. Okay, you don't. I just want to make sure I read them. Thank you, Rapo. You have a great night. Plume Black Hat, you said that'd be a Leuven upscale. Exactly. And I love Leuven a lot, but that much of an upscale is kind of crazy, and that is sort of why I think he might just be able to use this form somehow. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is, but that would be a very cool twist. Like, oh, like maybe this is why the Davy clan are hated so much. Not just because they're related to Davy Jones, but their bloodline grants them special abilities that matter in this context. You know what I mean? Like they all have a demon power within them or something. I think that'd be awesome. Quackvors, you said, I also think it's odd that Mars looks like he's still entering, like his form isn't complete, like Mars is just spectating. Yeah, right, because like whenever we saw that, like this, yeah, this is like, it feels like he just got there or something, because like this is like whenever they come out of the circle and or they first transform or whatever, this is like kind of how they look until we see the full thing. Yeah, he's just kind of chilling, which makes me wonder if, like, is this like a visage of him? Like, did he not physically go there? But it's kind of like how Emu, like, you know, popped out of Saturn's body or whatever. Is it similar to that, where he's able to, like, you know, send versions of himself far distances? They're, like, a little bit weaker somehow, and, like, this is just what it looks like? I don't really know, but it is weird that he's in that one. It could also be that Oda just thought that was more daunting than the actual bird. You know, like this makes it look way scarier, and I kind of agree. So, but yeah, it is interesting nonetheless, for sure. Cloud Lizard with the $2. Jack uses gas. Good point on Zoe. He almost did the same thing to Zoe that they were doing to Asperia, except I think Asperia was like, you know, the stuff wasn't as potent, but that is a good point either way. And kind of looks like Smoky Admiral. Let me go look at Jack again. Because he always has the mask on, so that's like, I don't really know what he looks like, you know? But I think we have gotten images of like his actual face. I believe. I know. Well, I know the thing broke at one point. And we got, you know, we saw he had sharp teeth and all that. Does this guy have sharp teeth? No, he has regular teeth. So that's one thing to factor in. But we also know that Jack is half fishman. So maybe his mom's a fishman and this is his dad. That would actually be sick. I actually don't see any... Here, let me find a better image of Jack. Come on, I want to see the one where you're like... Oh, there he is. Yeah, I mean, he looks similar enough. You know, like, the chin to me screams Shiryu, but like... I could realistically see him being related to Jack as well. I like that. I like that connection with the gas. That is smart. That is smart. That is smart. I like it. Let's see. A-Cop CCTV with the $2 super chat. I'm 20 minutes behind, but guy at the end, Akainu's dad. Yeah. I don't have like a really good reason to say yes, but for some reason that makes sense to me. Like, you know, we talked about him looking like he's a God's Knight and an Admiral and an Impel Down Guard in one, so that sort of throws a wrench into what's going on. But again, I really like Cloud Lizard's idea that he was the Admiral that got killed, and imagine that like he had Akainu. Wait, how? Hold on. So Akainu is 55. And the Admiral that was killed by Rox was killed 56 years ago. So if we give or take a few months, it could be a situation where if this guy's the Admiral, he, you know, conceived Akainu, but then died right afterward. And so then Akainu never got to meet his dad, and he's been kind of, you know, part of like his motivation has been to kind of like be like his dad or to get vengeance for him or what have you. That could be kind of a cool little story, honestly. So I don't think that is I don't think that's that crazy. That's a cool one. That is a cool one. Let's see here. Oh, Mr. Bushido for €2. It's a terrible day for rain. That's a good line for this chapter. It is. That's a great quote for this. This chapter was so moving, man. Like, still hits me. And he also said, in many cultures, like Irish and Japan, the fog represents the barrier between the living and the dead realms, fitting for Brook themes. That's also true, because Oda, and you're right about that, because I remember that was a big point whenever, like, you know, whenever we met Brook, like at least a lot of the analyses that I watched or read or whatever back then, whenever I first got into One Piece, that was kind of it, is like, it's fitting that we met him in the Florian Triangle where it's all foggy and he can't leave, because the fog often depicts that barrier between the living and the dead. And now we're seeing the fog also be relevant in his past, and that I mean, I don't know, that's the stuff for me that really separates One Piece from everything else, you know. And not that Oda's like the only one to do this sort of thing, but like when he just adds on the layers to this, right? Like like the barrier between the living and the dead, fitting for Brook, who's come back to life. He was lost in the Florian Triangle. That's fitting. Oh, but guess what? It's not just that. It's that the most tragic thing ever in his life happened because of fog as well, right? again, it's there's just so many layers to it, man. Oda's just on another level, genuinely. Adele 6 with the 1999 SARs. Those like Saudi Riyals, maybe? Let me look it up. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Saudi Riyal. Guys, I'm learning. I swear I didn't look it up first. Let's go. Thank you very much, Adele. Thanks, Dak, for the content you make. It's the best by far. On the chapter, reminder, Shiryu probably had a demonic-related ability, so he might be related here. Wait, Shiryu had a demonic-related ability. You mean, like, are you just referring to, like, his past with Impel Down, sort of? Like, I'm trying to think exactly, because, like, obviously now his power is the invisibility fruit, but he didn't even have that till recently. I mean, they said he was just, like, killing people, right, in Impel Down, I believe? I can't remember the whole story now, off the top of my head, with Shiryu. Because he was, like, one of the guards, and he was killing people all the time, like, killing the prisoners, so they had to lock him up because he was so bloodthirsty. And then they freed him to help, which was the dumbest thing ever. I can't remember exactly, but I really do think he's gonna be relevant. Like, if Polymarket had betting odds for One Piece chapters, and they were like, what main character is this random guy at the end of 1185 going to be related to? The highest odds, or like the lowest, highest in terms of most likely, like the lowest payout odds would definitely be Shiryu, I would think. The money would have to be on a Shiryu connection, I would say. And that's what I would put my money on. I don't like, it is the chin and like the uniform, but even the vibe too, like he doesn't even talk. Actually, no, you know what, guys? You know what? That actually makes him probably more related to Akainu, doesn't it? Because this guy did not, like, it'd be more like Dragon, but Akainu and Dragon are very similar, where they stay at their desks and don't do a whole lot. And he's just here smoking a cigar, or smoking a cigarette, or a cigar. I can't really tell. I think it's a cigarette. And he's just doing ... just sitting down on his chair. Very similar vibe to Akainu over the post time skip, I would say. Sitting on his chair, smoking all the time. He talks a little bit. You know, he doesn't do the ... nearly as much as Dragon. But Akainu is very familiar with the ... as well. So honestly, if anything was going to tell us he's related to Akainu, it's that. But I'm definitely going Shiryu, I feel like, if I had to put some money on it. Oh, Adele, I think it was something demonic about his sword. You're right. It was. His sword, I think he has a, let me look it up. Ryu, it's one of the famous blades. Is famous just, okay, that's not, okay, it is in one of the 3 grades. We just don't know which grade. Okay. This blade has bathed in the blood of many. Shiryu is very delicate with how he uses Ryu, but is incredibly quick with it, cutting down multiple opponents in swift, efficient motions. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, like, part of it is, like, the sword. I can't remember. I don't see it on here, but I vaguely do remember where they said, like, the sword is also, like, bloodthirsty. That would be cool, though. That would be cool. If Shiryu... And you know what? I don't see a sword on this guy. But if this guy does have a sword and it looks like Ryu, that is the ultimate telltale sign that he's related to Shiryu. That's something we got to keep an eye out. Like, because we've been talking a lot about how, like, people's fruits are getting recycled in the story. So, like, we talked about Doc Q's fruit or Smoker's fruit or whatever being tied to the fog. We got to keep an eye on swords as well in this era, because if we see because again, like, they have all these graded blades. Like, I'm sure sometimes like new ones enter and old ones break and fall out, but for the most part, the graded blades are probably all roughly like the same subset, and like all throughout the last 100, probably thousands of years, but 100 years for sure. So we need to also be looking at people's swords that get introduced and see if they've been recycled, into somebody else for sure. Green Owl 2834 with the $2 super chat. Could he be the Holy Knight commander before Garling? That would make sense too. Because because Garling was already captain or whatever by God Valley, I believe. So yeah, Green Owl, definitely. I'm just trying to think of how that would connect to Shiryu, for example. If this guy was the Holy Knight leader, and let's say he's also Shiryu's dad, which it doesn't have to be, but the Shiryu thing is it feels so right there for us, which is cool because that's like a random character to tie in. But anyways, it's so would he have had Shiryu, and then instead of being a Holy Knight, he went Impel Down? But if he did, then I don't think they would have let him get locked up. So maybe I guess Shiryu is not a part of the equation, or he's just not a Holy Knight. Maybe he is just an admiral. But it would make more sense if he's a Holy Knight because he's here with a Gorosei turning people into demons and stuff, which is like the Holy Knight's whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I really want Shiryu to be a part of this, but I think your point is very good. He could be the Holy Knight's leader for sure. Which, the more I think about it, it would make a lot of sense for us to meet the past leader, because Garling's had a lot of focus, and Garling's now even been promoted, and then his son Shamrock is now the leader. So it's it would make sense for us to get a little context on how the politics has changed, how it's what led, because Garling seemed to have just passed it down to his son, which makes sense. But this guy, I guess the other option is this guy could be Garling's dad. This could be Shanks's grandpa if we really wanted to stretch it. He does not look anything like Shanks or Garling, so I don't think that's it, to be clear. But if Garling passed it down to Shamrock, you would maybe think that Garling's dad would have passed it down to him, and if this guy's the Holy Knight leader, that would mean this is Shanks's grandpa. I don't think that's the case, but the point might be that if he is the Holy Knight leader, we'll see why it became Garling instead of this guy's kid, which would be just as interesting, right? Why Garling got picked instead of, assuming this guy has a child. Maybe this guy never had a child and that's why. I don't know. But I feel like his child is Shiryu, though. I feel pretty likely. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Join Discord. Join the Mink Queen Carrot crew. Yes, you mean the carrot from Syrup Village, right? Obviously. But yes, Bushido, thank you for the shout out. Definitely join the Discord, guys, if you haven't already, for sure. That's where you're going to hear all the theories first, or most of the time. That's where all the theory discussions happen. Y'all know. Join the Discord for sure. And actually, I will say the One Piece TCG part of the Discord has also been very active lately, which I like, because the TCG, man, it's been going crazy. I don't know if y'all have been checking the prices or just the hype around it, but y'all, if y'all haven't gotten into the TCG yet, do it now, because it's turning into Pokemon in the good and bad ways, I would say. But yeah, join the Discord. That was the main point. Join the Discord. You're right, Bushido. Thank you. Then you also had another €5. Was hoping we see Brooke at the Reverie and met Alabasta King from back then. I was hoping that as well. I think there was more going on with Leuven and the Celestial Dragons. Candel was a Celestial Dragon who ran away. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't know about you guys, but I am confused or lost a little bit. I don't know what the right word is, but on the Candel situation, because it really did feel like she was going to be a major player in this, and we heard that she got sick after going to the Holy Land, or talking to after the Celestial Dragons visited, then she became sick. Is it they came and told her, hey, we're going to take you know, all the slaves, and like I don't feel like her story is done yet, but at the same time it kind of is, because she's dead now, right? So I wonder how Oda's gonna rope back into making Candel relevant, or is this just it? Is this all we're gonna be left with, and we're like, yep, she was a good person who loved the king, and she died a tragic death, and that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like Oda was really building something up with her, and then I was shocked when she died. Although I shouldn't be. You guys know why? Because Oda kills every mom in a flashback. If you are a mom in a flashback, you're gonna die. You're gonna die before the flashback's over. I get it. Happens every time. Every time. Like, dude, you go to Loki's flashback. He has 2 moms. They both died. I mean, bro, it's crazy. If you are a mom in a flashback, just say your prayers. You know, I should have known, so I shouldn't be surprised. Genuinely, if there was a poly market for Candel dying, I should have just put all my money on it day one, because obviously she was going to die very quickly, because that's always what happens. And it's the same thing as Estrid, where she died from, well, didn't Ida get sick too? They all died. They all just get sick and die. Sora got sick and died. They all just get sick and die. It makes me sad, because like the moms are great, but they just always die. They just always die, man. And I gotta say, the fact that Oda showed us this portrait of Candel that is like the exact same thing as Estrid. Like, do you remember, like in the funeral, it was like the same panel structure where the top panel of the page had a big portrait of Estrid, and they were like in the church or whatever, and it's like the same thing where it was in the center. Like, I feel like Estrid and Candel might be cut from the same cloth in a certain way. Obviously, Estrid is horrible. We do not like Estrid around here, but as far as like potential Holy Knight connections or world government connections, you know, shady business, I feel like both of them are in hot water in that regard. But yeah, I am surprised she just died like that, though. Like, I mean, she was always destined to die because, you know, Oda's writing the story, but the way it just happened so abruptly was kind of crazy. Bushido, I just saw you said someone do a welfare check on Oda's mom. Yeah. Yeah, man, if I'm Oda's mom, I'm looking at these chapters like what did I do? Like why? What are you trying to tell me, son? You know? Oh man. All right. Let's see. Got a couple more here, I believe. Adele with the 20 Saudi riyals again. Thank you, Adele, very, very much. I think it's the old Emu trick to turn his enemies to fight each other through Domi Reversi, like what he tried to do with Luffy and Loki. Is that in regards to like Leuven having the horns and the wings and stuff? Like he tried to get, like he forced, yeah, because like if he controls both, he's forcing those two to fight, which is like a very just like gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching sort of thing, right? Where they're both forced to kill each other. But then I bet you what happened, and I feel like you're probably right, I bet you Leuven, because he's fighting his daughter, he was able to hold back a little bit, because he's like, even though it's going to kill me, I can't hurt you. Even though I know I will die, you're my daughter, and I'm going to like fight back in this moment. And he like basically gave up his life so she wouldn't die, even though she was the one killing him. I think you're right. That's probably what happened. He turned them. He both got Domi Reversi'd. They were fighting each other. Leuven was able to fight back just enough to where he wasn't going to stop her because he doesn't want her to die, and he had to die as a result. That's probably what happened. That's probably it. You're probably right. And I hope we get to see that, because obviously we jumped in right here, but hopefully it would probably be later when we get to see Shuri's perspective on all this, but I want to see her be like, you know, her, like we'll see exactly what happened. Like someone come and transform her and her dad, or maybe, I honestly, I wonder how that's going to go down. Like, is she going to get transformed first and then Leuven, or is Leuven going to get transformed and then she like, is like, Dad, why are you doing this? You know, why are you attacking me? And like, you know what I mean? Kind of like how Brooke is just now finding out that Shuri isn't really at fault for this, right? And so I'm wondering, like, if, you know, she was getting attacked by Leuven because he got Domi Reversi, that would be a little bit similar. Like, she wouldn't really know what's happening. So yeah, I really wonder how that's going to go down. Annie Hime with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much again, Annie Hime. My love for Luffy continues to grow because of his kindness and accepting Brook into his crew the moment he met him, which I love, because, like, who else is going to see a talking skeleton out in the middle of the fog on, like, a ship that's falling apart and be like, dude, join the crew right now, you know? After everything Brook has been through, Luffy and the crew's love was much needed. That element to it where Luffy and the crew, but it's really Luffy, like, he simultaneously saved Brook, gave him like a new lease on life, showed him that, like, you know, a lot of the stuff he was worried about isn't as bad as he thinks, like, in terms of, like, Laboon, like, hey, Laboon's still there, I met him, he's waiting for you. Like, for this random kid to show up, because Luffy he is a kid. I mean, he's 19 now, he's still a kid compared to me, I guess. I feel pretty old now, but 17 at the time. You know, this kid shows up just out of nowhere in this fog that you've been lost in for 50 years, and just, like, I mean, like, we all know it's a Chosen One story, you know, where Luffy is the Chosen One. He's got all, you know, he's the next Joy Boy, all that stuff. But, like, thinking of it just from Brook's perspective, like, so moves me. Like, because that's kind of what Luffy wants to do for the world. He wants to be a random kid who shows up and makes everything better for people, right? Like, not that he wants to be a hero, but that's just what he does. He shows up and he's like, all right, if you got bad people, I'll take them out and I'll help you. You know, that's his thing. And it's just like, again, just this random kid shows up. Join my crew. I'll get you out of here. Oh, yeah, that whale's still here. And, oh, I love that you played music. I've been waiting for a musician. Yeah, let's go. Like, yeah, I'm a pirate too. Like, I want to go find the final island. Didn't you want to do that? Like, I don't know, man. It's just Brook and Luffy. It's one of the greatest little combos, man. Seriously. Man, I needed this chapter. This was, I don't know how to put it. I just can't stop looking at some of these panels. It's so good. It is so good. ACOP CCTV with the $5 super chat. Back to Akainu's dad. That's why Akainu hates pirates, because Rocks killed his dad. Great point. Great point. That would definitely help sell it even more. Like, if this guy conceived Akainu and then immediately died, so he never got to meet his dad, and they're telling him, like, yeah, some pirates came and attacked and killed your father. Like, it was actually like this savage pirate, you know, like, Rocks, he's the worst of all time, whatever. Like, that would definitely be like a huge motivating factor for him and give him that hardline hatred towards pirates that he has. So I like it. I do. Like, I still am feeling Shiryu, but if it's not Shiryu, Akainu's dad is just as good, honestly. And again, him smoking a cigarette makes me, like, I mean, Akainu is, I mean, he's got like 2 cigars. I mean, well, no, that's Smoker. Smoker goes crazy with the cigars, but even Akainu. Yeah, that's a good point, ACOP. That is. Quackvors for €2. Do you see Shiryu 2 having odd socks and hairy hands? Jeez, that is a tongue twister, apparently. Let me go look. I didn't really look. Yeah, he does have striped socks, which is a little goofy, right? Who has striped socks? Does anybody have any tips on, like, characters that have weird striped socks? Because that's the kind of thing that Oda would use as a hint. Who has striped socks in the story that's government affiliated in some way? Buggy's dad. Buggy has them. Black said Blackbeard. Does Blackbeard have stripes? Hold on. Guys, I don't know why I thought this search was going to help. Oh my god. Guys. I got to show you this now. I got to show you this now. Hold on. I Googled Blackbeard socks because I wasn't thinking, and I got to show this to you now. Where is it at? Oh god. Those are Blackbeard socks. They are Blackbeard socks. And then I also found legit black. Oh wait, hold on. Then I also found, if I can save it, there we go. Then I also found actual Blackbeard socks. Which I would wear these. I'll tell you. Let me resize it. I would wear these. I like them. Those are some good Blackbeard socks right there. I will where can I get those? I guess there's a few different sites. Man, there's actually a lot of cool One Piece socks now that I'm looking. They got the Gomu Gomu socks. But yeah, that was just Blackbeard socks, man. Jeez. Blackbeard socks, One Piece, and then I'm going to go to images and hope that I don't actually... There's a few of him. It looks like he does. He does. He does have, look, at least on the images I'm looking at, it looks like he does have striped socks. It's kind of hard to tell, though, to be honest. This one does, yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Perona definitely has striped socks. That's for sure. Perona's like #1 in the striped sock category. I feel like that's the first one I should have thought of. Kurosa's Dax ordering them now. Yeah, that's actually what I was doing the whole time. I was getting my Blackbeard sock order in. I wonder how Perona would be interesting in a way, because like Perona, you know, obviously like Thriller Bark, she was introduced there, so she's kind of tied to Brook in that sense, and she has the ghost powers and all that, so she kind of fits into that. Time skip, she went and hung out with Mihawk at another like castle that was falling apart, I guess, you know, like a dark dungy area, so she's always been kind of in that mold in a way. So I don't think the Perona connection's that crazy. I don't know if socks are really the thing that are gonna convince anybody, but Perona tying to this would not be the craziest thing, because she's already tied to Brook heavily, you know. I like it. And then Hydrogen, you said, what's interesting is not everyone shows their socks in One Piece. I know. I was just looking at like a ton of images of just some other characters, and like you really don't see the socks very often. So if you do see striped socks, we might be cooking. We might be cooking. All right, let me go ahead and finish the super chats here, because I know I have a few left. Did Quackvors, Alexander Ivanov, aka Ivankov, member for 10 months, almost a year. Thank you very much, bro. Damn, Star Rupture made me miss the stream again. What is Star Rupture? I gotta look this up. I'm glad you made it for at least part of it, but I am telling you, this chapter had me all in my feels. This was a big one. Looks like it came out earlier this year. Ooh, is this? Oh, dude, it's a open world, like base building, like development sort of game, dude. These games, I get so addicted to these kind of like, I don't even know what's like the genre of this. I don't even, like automation game. I don't really know. I guess it's sort of survival, but I love these kind of games. Oh, you know what? I did watch somebody play this like for like one video whenever it came out. Now that I think about it, you have a good taste in games, my friend, to say the least. You have a good taste. But yeah, if you have a chance to go back and watch the VOD, I was definitely feeling this chapter for sure. But thank you, Alexander. Mr. Bushido, you got two in a row here. Who's the father? Jerry. Yeah, I mean that's I feel like that's where we're at right now. I'm on like what's the other one? Maury, right? Maury's the other one. Is that I always get these confused. All these like I don't even know what you call these kind of shows. You talk shows, but they're obviously like you're building it up for this random stupid drama. Yeah, it's Maury Povich. That's another one. I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm on an episode of Maury, and I'm trying to figure out who the dad is, you know, or who the child is of this guy, I suppose. It literally feels like that. And then you also said, oh, wait, someone do a welfare check on Oda's mom. We already talked about that one. Yes, please. Annie Hime with the $5 super chat. Thank you again very much for your generosity. Oda for sure has beef with his parents because this man only acknowledges found families and siblings. At least Oda was close with his older sister. Definitely. And I maybe it's just me. Not that I have like substantial problems, but like I think that's a very appealing thing for people because I think like I mean, a lot of us are born, you know, into having a family that's stable and around us for most of our lives and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people aren't born into that, and they have to go find their family. And even the people that are born into a family that's there, they may not feel close and attached to them. You know what I mean? Like, whether they're just different people or maybe they're just not that good of parents or something, right? Like, people a lot of times have to go find their family. Or even, I mean, whenever you get older, you always have to because, I mean, you know, I mean, your parents and everyone's not going to live forever. People might move away, whatever. So I think that's one, at least for me, that is one of the most appealing things of One Piece is the found family thing. And like you're saying, after seeing how many moms have died in flashbacks, maybe Oda does have some kind of like familial trauma where like he didn't feel close to his family, but he found solace with his friends. And that's sort of why he does this so much, you know, like, I mean, like I said, for me, that is one of the most appealing things. You know, it's like, it's about finding your people, you know, like you always got to find your people. They're out there somewhere. It's kind of like, you know, I'm about to tear up again. It's like Saul, what Saul was telling Robin, like your friends are out there. You just got to go find them. Like, I think that's like such a core message to One Piece. It's, yeah, either maybe Oda does have some kind of familial trauma or he, you know, or he's just cooking, but it, for me, it's definitely one of the most appealing parts, for sure. And Eli, you said friends matter more to me in my life than my family, and you know, maybe not everyone else feels the same way, but the way I always think about that is like family, like you're born into it, and like you don't really choose them. Now, like it's not that they're bad or whatever, but like they're just there automatically. But your friends, and that they're all, I shouldn't say they're not always there. Some people don't have that luxury, but friends you choose, right? Like you choose who your friends are. You found them, realized you connect, and you know, care about one another or whatever. And like that, there is like a very strong difference there, right? It's like chosen family, not given family in a way. And yeah, and like I said, it's one of the most appealing things of One Piece for me, that message. And like, I mean, Whitebeard, and Oda does it in a lot of different ways, and Whitebeard is one of like the strongest ways, where he has a bunch of adopted sons that are actually like grown pirates that are really strong and whatever, but he treats them as his children when it's all found family. And that, I could go on for days about Whitebeard, man. Actually, I have a bunch of Squard cards here. Speaking of Whitebeard, I got a lot of Squard. This is box toppers, and I was thinking about him recently in the moment, you know, where he stabs Whitebeard, but then Whitebeard hugs him, and I'm like, bro, like, sometimes Oda just cooks too hard. You know what I mean? Like the kitchen can't handle it sometimes. And that was one of the times. This chapter was another one of the times. And I feel like found family is usually the topic that really makes us all get emotional and excited. So, yeah. And Eli said, you will find your people. Doesn't have to come from a place of trauma. Very true. Very true. Because it's not always like you have to have like a horrible family or whatever situation. Like maybe it's just okay, but you still want to go find your people. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, like you want to feel that togetherness, that closeness, you know. Yeah, like I said, One Piece, man, that is like, whenever people ask me, like who aren't super familiar with One Piece, and they're asking like why I like it so much or whatever, or like what are like the themes or whatever, found family is maybe the first thing that leaves my mouth every time I talk about it. Like what, like that is like the chief theme of the story. If I had to pick one, you know, you could say freedom, adventure, challenging power, all those different types of things, but for me, found family is like the fabric of the story, you know. So it's so yeah, long story short, Anahime, I was like looking back, I was like, I know I was talking about a super chat. Yeah, I really wonder what Oda's family life was like in the early days, because it's like he clearly understands the found family thing very clearly. John Stoops with the $5. Holy cow, still live. I said earlier I was going to hurry up and try to keep it an hour and a half. We're at 2.5. You know how it goes, John. I didn't know this chapter was going to be my favorite chapter of all time. I should have known because it was the Brook flashback, but he said, okay, like the stream, y'all. Let's get this thing to 100. Yeah, guys, where are we at? Let me go check. We've been live for a while. I have to refresh to see the numbers, and it's taking a minute, but oh, there we go. Actually, no, it loaded part of the page and not the whole thing. Well, hopefully that'll finish in a second, but yeah, guys, let's get to 100 if we can. That'd be awesome. But John Stoops, thank you for coming back. Yeah, I mean, you can go back and watch the VOD if you want. I've been raving about the chapter since I finished. I mean, I gotta really think about it, but my reaction right now is that it's my favorite chapter of all time. Like, I know I said that before, and I think I'm sticking with it. It's genuinely, I think, my favorite. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this. I just noticed right now whenever I loaded the page, but I have the check mark next to my name now. I applied for that. Now I feel so official. I'm verified. Now, if you see me comment somewhere, you're going to know it's me. Looks nice. Looks nice. All right, now I'm back. We're at 90. All right, we're at 90 likes. 90's pretty close. I ain't mad with 90. But thank you, John Stoops. Anahime again with the $10. Anahime, thank you so much. What are you cooking this time? You've had some good ones. Luffy is such a people person, such a sweetheart, always seeing the good in people and wanting to show that love back 1,000 times over. That unconditional love is why the Straw Hats follow him. Exactly. And the thing to me that, again, going back to found family, that I think sort of exemplifies it is like what you said is exactly true, but then like the other Straw Hats, because Luffy shows them that appreciation and like he's gonna fight for them and he believes in them and all those sort of things, that makes them feel the same way back to Luffy, right? Like they're like drawn towards reciprocating that, and that is like, oh man, like I mean, like that's like the fabric of the Straw Hats, right? Like Luffy has said many times, I can't be the Pirate King without all my crewmates. He said like in different instances, different people, like Sanji and Whole Cake's one of the most famous ones, but like he needs his whole crew. Like he believes in himself a ton, but he also knows how important his crew is. And then his crew, you know, match that by saying like, even in the face of death, you know, Luffy's going to be the king of the pirates. I believe in him. I'm never giving up on him. You know, that kind of thing. Like that little give and take. Like I said, that's why I love One Piece. That's the found family part, right? Like they all have such different backgrounds, not related. Although, I mean, I know there's theories about like Robin and Luffy being brother and sister, whatever, but not related, didn't know each other growing up, but they found each other at the right time. And now they have like this, you know, inseparable bond. It's like, man. And now seeing Brook here, again, going back to like, this is the tragedy that he faced back in the day, and then Luffy was able to inspire him even with all this baggage. It's like, man, I'm just getting all the reminders of why I love this story so much. You know, it's genuinely, it's just, I don't know. Like, sometimes there's stuff that happens that makes me go around and try to get more of my friends to watch it. Cause like, I don't like being, cause they all know like my job is One Piece basically. So like, they know I'm a big One Piece guy, but I don't like always bringing it up and trying to get them to watch it. Cause like, I just don't want to be that guy. But this might be a push for me to go back to some people and be like, hey man, look, you really got to start. Really got to start. Or hey, have you been thinking about it? Hey, did you watch a couple episodes? You know, this is definitely like a little motivation point to get some more people in, because this is the sauce right here, the sauce. All right, I think I got one more from Hydrogen, and it was just a $1. I think it was just it was just a blank one. I don't know if you wanted to say something. I see people, you got 8 likes on it, which is sick. I'm glad a bunch of people are liking it. Thank you, Hydrogen. If you did want to have like a super chat, and you just like accidentally sent it or whatever, let me know. And I'll keep an eye on the chat. So, but either way, guys, I'm gonna sit here and just talk to you guys in the chat here for a little bit. I mean, if you guys throw another super, I'll answer it, of course, but we can definitely just hang out for a little bit and just keep talking about the chapter, because I don't know if I'm ready to leave yet and go about my day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like if I go to like McDonald's, I'm gonna be like crying at the drive-thru, like, oh my god, like I just saw this fictional Afro guy just go through some stuff. This demon showed up. Like, I'm not that I'm gonna say that, but that's how I feel. Like, so emotional. Like, I feel like I gotta, if I left, I would feel like I gotta talk to somebody about it. You know what I mean? So might as well keep talking about it for a little bit. But man, it was man, that was a journey. I feel like I just ran a marathon or something. I don't know. Like, feel emotionally exhausted, but like in a good way. Plume Black Hat, Dak, you see all that swordsmanship? Yeah, man. You know, if fate didn't get in the way, Brook might be the world's strongest swordsman. You know, that's what I'm thinking. I think Mihawk's lucky that Brook died a long time ago. That's what I'm thinking. Plume Black Hat. I'm thinking Mihawk would have been a nobody if Brook had his way with the world. You know, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, look, Brook ain't even trying. Brook is breaking 0 sweat. I mean, to be fair, he's bleeding, so he probably is sweating, but he was cooking, man. He was cooking. Oh, man. Chin Ho Wong, member for 6 months. Chin, it's a pleasure to see you on this joyous day with one of the best chapters of all time that just released. Final panel villain is Smoker and Shiryu's grandpa. I feel like you just summarized a bunch of the theories we've been going through, because yeah, we were talking about Shiryu heavily. I can see Shiryu, I can see Smoker, I can see Akainu's dad. The striped socks make me think it could be Perona's dad. There's a lot of options, Chin. I don't know which one I'm going with. I feel like Shiryu is the easy money, but because like he's got the cigarette, so you think Smoker, but you also think Akainu because he smokes all the time too. And I mean, dude, you could go. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Quackvor, you said I'm gonna go 10 out of 10 chapter. Thank Oda and Dak for never failing to deliver. Good night, chat. Quackvors, thank you for also never failing to deliver. This was a pleasure. I'm so glad you were here. So glad all you were here. Shout out to all the people watching the VOD in the future. Past version of Dak, at least, well, it's current version as I'm saying it, but past by the time you see it. Thanks you for being here. I'm going to look back on this probably when the story's done and be like, damn, that was That was crazy. I wonder how many more chapters will make me feel like this. Like this is easily the most emotional I've been on a live reaction. Easily. Anihime, $10. Anihime, thank you so much for all the donations. Seriously, and the good, just like the good comments you're making and stuff. Thank you. Off topic, but do you believe Joy Boy and Lily were romantically involved during the Void Century? Hence, Imu's hatred of Joy Boy and obsession with Lily. Just curious of what you thought about this theory. So my first reaction is that, like, just my own opinion, I don't want like a love story to be like a huge progenitor for everything that happened. You know, like if Imu was so jealous because he loved Lily so much that like the Void Century happened and everything, like just me personally, I don't want that to be like a big driver. And maybe there's a way where there are other drivers, but this was one of them that just played a little bit of a role. Like I think that could work. So my first reaction is just, I wouldn't want this to be like the reason the Void Century happened. And I'm not even saying that's like necessarily what you're saying, because you said during the Void Century, and like there's probably a lot of stuff that happened before to even initiate the Void Century, right? So I would just want to know really what that story is, because like I said, I just wouldn't want Imu's jealousy to be why he took over the world. Just for me, I want more than that. And not that it's impossible or that it would be necessarily horrible, but personally, that I don't want that. As far as the likelihood of it, the first thing to think about is, you know, Joy Boy and Luffy are obviously parallels, and Luffy is not very romantically focused. So I would tend to believe that Joy Boy wasn't either. So I don't know if a love story would be what's really driving him either. But you could also say that if we're going to parallel to Luffy, well, who loves Luffy? The Pirate Empress, who, at least in the pre-time skip, was a warlord, which was very important because it got him an Impel Down, and like there was all sorts of, like, Luffy caused a ton of problems from the government due to the woman that loved him because she helped him out. And so like there is a little bit of like, and like that also led to the Paramount War and stuff, right? Like, I mean, that was going to happen regardless, but like her loving Luffy is what got him there pretty much. I mean, he had to go to Impel Down and came back up and whatever. But so you could maybe reason that like maybe back in the day, Lily was kind of like Boa, because remember, Boa is from Amazon Lily, and then we have Lily. So maybe Lily back then was like the hottest woman in the world, and maybe she did love Luffy, which you know, like, I can't... Maybe Lily and Vivi aren't going to be the exact same, but I struggle to see Vivi freaking out in the way that Boa does, you know what I mean, over anybody she likes. But maybe she also loved Joy Boy, and so even though she was a part of the 20 Kings, she started helping Joy Boy out, and that's sort of where a lot of this started. Something like that I could see, right? Where it's maybe not necessarily that Imu is like so jealous that he did a lot of the stuff, but maybe that, like, maybe Lily did have something for Joy Boy, and that's why she betrayed the 20 Kings or something like that. I think that could maybe work. Because, like, I'm not a big shipper, to be honest, in any way, shape, or form. But, and I am, if I had to choose, I would probably say Luffy and Boa are going to end up together. But I also wouldn't be shocked if it was like Luffy and Vivi in the future either. I mean, it should be Vivi and Koza. I'm gonna be honest. If there was a ship that I was gonna stand, it's Vivi and Koza, and I'm gonna stand by that. But I would also not be shocked if Oda wanted to try making Luffy and Vivi together in some future timeline. So I guess that was a very long-winded way of saying I personally wouldn't like it, but I do think that is very possible, and I know a lot of people are behind the, you know, like, Imu loves Lily agenda. And so we'll have to see. All I hope is just that that's not like the progenitor for everything that happened. Like, I want there to be more problems in the world than that led Imu to starting this, and then maybe Lily's a small part, like her loving, you know, Joy Boy got in the way and he got pissed or something. But yeah, so I hope that answered the question. because I guess I will also throw in, you know, one of the, like, the first chapter of the story was called Romance Dawn, and Romance Dawn is kind of like a important phrase throughout the story in general. So if the first chapter is going to have Romance Dawn in it, you know, it makes me think that romance should probably be an important part at some point. Now, is that romance for adventure? Is it actual romance between two people? Or, as I mentioned in my last video, is it just about Adam and Eve? Because, like, the way I put it is, like, you could argue that in our world, Adam and Eve is the romance that started the dawn of the world, because they are like everybody's parents, essentially. And we have Adam and Eve in One Piece. I don't know if that maybe ties to the Romance Dawn thing. But that's something else to consider, you know. I feel like romance is going to be really important somewhere, I feel like, in the Void Century. But I don't know if it's going to be like Emu was, like, highly motivated because of his failures with a girl, basically, is all I think. Let's see. I don't know what the context is, but I see Dak is not Umit confirmed. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know where that came from, but I did see that. I'm not sure. I see a lot of people talking about the Discord. Did we get it? Man, I got tons of messages over in the Discord. Holy smokes. Okay, it's from, okay, not just in the Discord, but in general. Welcome to all the new people. How many people we got? Let's see. Hold on. We can check live. Actually, it's easier to check on my phone. Do I have my phone? Okay, hold on. I got all my stuff set up here. Yeah, we got 4 new members already. Shout out to the 4 new people. Who are you? You know what? I'm gonna go check out the welcome noob section. What's up? You all about to get a shout out. Dusty Wizard, welcome. The Bong Jedi, you're definitely welcome. Seth Pie and Salty Sea Legs. Shout out to all y'all for joining. Discord's a good place, man. We got ton. I feel like any day, any time of the day, doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. my time. Don't matter. I can go to the theory zone and find someone to spitball some theories with. I love going to the Discord. So major shout out to all y'all. Appreciate you. And thank you, Bushido, for plugging it also. Our Anihime with another one. Anihime, seriously, thank you so much. Thank all of you for all your donations. But Anihime has been going crazy. Thank you so much. And this will be my last one for today because we are approaching 3 hours. And I got stuff to do. I don't want to leave, but I got stuff to do. I actually have like 15 TCG player orders to put together because I listed some cards last night and they all sold. But that's a whole other discussion. But Anihime, thank you. Luffy won't settle down anywhere with a girl to raise a family. So to be honest, unless the girl is Nami and already on the crew traveling with him, Luffy isn't ending up with anyone nor having kids. Yeah, I mean, he definitely will not even contemplate. He probably will never contemplate it. If he ever has kids, it'll probably just be a thing that he's not even really thinking thoroughly because he's Luffy. But it definitely will not happen until after he becomes Pirate King. And so if he were to like settle down with somebody, it's gonna be in like an epilogue or a prologue. Epilogue? I always get prologue's the second one, right? I always get these confused. Epilogue. Yeah, epilogue. I don't know why I always mix those up, but yeah, it would be like, I don't know how Oda would do it. I don't know if it would be in the actual manga or if he's gonna like do a spin-off novel or I don't know, but like in a post-Dawn world, I think maybe then Luffy would settle down. And again, I don't even know if it's really settling down. I don't even know if he would consciously do it. I feel like going over to Boa, I feel like Boa would probably make some elaborate trap to get him to agree to where they're married. And I don't know, like, because Boa's like obviously so desperate, you know, to make it work. Like, I feel like Oda would make some funny gag where she like tricks him into it. He's like, whatever, I guess, you know. But I do agree, it would not be what before Pirate King, and even then it's kind of questionable. But I guess for me, I sort of imagine like Luffy becoming Pirate King, achieving the second dream. And then, I mean, I would imagine he would still want to like sail around, but he wouldn't need to like be with the crew anymore, right? Because like they accomplished the goal, and like what else would they be doing? I don't really know. But Bushido, what you spamming in the chat for, Bushido? I don't know what you mean. Luffy doesn't need to have a love interest in the story, I feel. That's just what we project onto it. I completely agree. I love the angle where Boa likes him and he does not. He doesn't reciprocate. You know, I think that's awesome because like she's the hottest woman in the world. She doesn't care about anybody, and then Luffy shows up and, you know, she falls in love with him. Love that. But the fact he does not reciprocate is what makes it so great, right? So I agree. I don't think he needs a love interest. I'm not a shipper in general. I mean, like Sanji and Pudding, probably. I mean, I'm a big shipper with Gaimon and Sarfunkel, but they're already a couple, so like there's nothing to even ship there. That ship has sailed. Usopp and Kaya. I mean, those ones that are already laid out, I'm cool with and I like. The ones for Luffy, like, I'm a Boa in the post story or nothing. I'm not that motivated by any of the other ones. But I mean, but Vivi would be cool. But it's got to be Vivi and Koza. That's another one that it's a missed opportunity if you don't do Koza. Koza's my guy. Koza is so underrated. I'm a big fan of Koza. Oh, Bushido, just getting my number one spot back. I got you. And so Anihime is number one. Good job, Anihime. Good job taking number one. How does that? Let me see. Can I see the rankings? How does that work? Oh yeah. Oh, it's close. Anihime, you're at 2875, and Bushido's at 2850. I got to end the stream quick, so Anihime stays at number one. Last super chat. I said this last time, but here we are. $10 from Gang Rider TV. Gang Rider, thank you. Check out my desk mat in the gaming channel of the Discord. Lexiconographer C.S. Lewis noted something like 15 different definitions of the word romantic. Hold on, let me go look at this. You said in the gaming channel, Gamer Zone. Oh, I got tagged. That helps. Oh, that's sick. You said you got a custom desk mat off eBay. I took the comic image, used Copilot to colorize it and stretch the image to size. Dude, if y'all are in the Discord, I mean, that is, you don't mind if I show the picture, do you? I think I can show you, or show everyone real quick. Just real quick, because I got to make sure Anihime stays at number one for the stream. If Anihime loses number one, someone just time out Bushido for like 5 minutes, and then we'll end in those 5, and I'll let Anihime spam the chat, and then we'll make it work. Let's see. There it is. Oh, if I can, dude, this is sick. Okay, it's huge picture, which is good, so it's clear, but look at that desk mat. That is sick, dude. That is sick. I need to level up my game with like that. That's big time, man. This is one of the coolest panels in the story. I remember seeing this and just being like awestruck at like Luffy's size to the chain next to him, so you see how small he is and everything. But that looks awesome, dude. Genuinely, that is sick. That is sick. Etsy, not eBay. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of good stuff on Etsy. All right, I got to make sure Anihime gets number one, and Anihime is still at number one. So, also, I guess real quick, Gang Rider, I didn't really comment on this, but you also brought up C.S. Lewis noted like 15 different definitions of the word romantic, and I think that is part of why Oda uses the word romance, because there's so many interpretations. There is the love part, but you could say love for adventure. There's a million different ways to phrase it, right? Like romantic and romance is not just, love, but But all right, I'm gonna end the stream now while Anihime is still at number 1. But thank you guys, seriously, as always. It was an awesome stream. We will be back in 2 weeks because we're on another break. But I feel very confident you'll get a video or a couple streams during the break this time. I was kind of sick last week, but we're good now. So yeah, be on the lookout, guys. Definitely, and especially like I said, the notifications. I keep getting comments; they aren't being sent out as much. So maybe keep an extra eye on it if you can. If not, it's all good. But yeah, thank you all. Seriously, appreciate you. This was an awesome experience. Just not like getting to read the chapter, getting to talk to you and be here. Just such a cool experience for me. So thank you guys. I'm ending the stream now. Anihime is at number 1. I'm looking at the thing, so I'm ending it right now. But y'all have a good one. Be safe this weekend, but have